so nervous when Nikki got here. We might have had a nice broadcast.
I saw her. She's been in here twice since then. I saw her in the break room a couple weeks ago, and she
was in the break room.
She just gave me a big hug.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, twice she's given me a hug.
Heart beating out of his chest.
No, something happening there.
We're good buds now.
Where there's smoke, there is some fire.
I'm trying to get Kevin Nealon in the studio.
We've been in before with us.
Yeah, we have had him on.
He's in town, I think, October. And then, would you like to have David Keckner in?
I think we have communicated on that, and that's not going to wind up happening.
Okay.
David Keckner.
Whammy!
That's the bald guy? Yeah.
It's always fun to see Lauren. No surprise that I think she's the coolest chick that I know.
Nate in Tallahassee is not happy as per usual. I tried listening to Pepper and Genie today. Made it 2 minutes in. That show would be better if it had a content producer and different hosts and a better sound quality. Nate in Tallahassee, and he just was loaded for bear, and he wanted to fire a shot at Pepper and Genie. Doug, unfortunate, uncalled for, and maybe it's got a bigger audience now that it's appeared on the 101 ESPN.
Well, we typically don't cater to crawfish hunters living in a trailer park in the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Why don't you do your own podcast? I'm sure you got plenty of interesting stories in your life.
Yeah, just go listen to The Rob Show.
The Rob Show? Doug, I'm not familiar with The Rob Show.
If you follow the fan page, you know what's up. What up, fan page?
Clip that off.
I thought it was a nice little presentation yesterday. We just talked about things that upset our parents back in the day.
I thought it was good.
Upset your parents.
Things that we did that upset our parents that we felt bad about. Yeah, nice little.
Well, probably a lot between you twos.
Yeah, there were a few.
You can't have like erotic sex stories every episode.
You guys talk about banging often?
Often enough to where we got to mix it up.
Oh.
We did early on. But I mean, we just try to delve into our lives every once in a while. Give you a peek behind the curtain.
Hey guys, I thought you may want to know that my wife's boyfriend Steven's furlough from Orange Theory is done, so he's not living with us anymore. But he still insists that I wear my chastity device, and he will be by for lunch and to use my boy holes daily. He wears a whoop like you, Tim, and he got great REM sleep last night. That's from Sean Mahoney's Deadeye.
He just now getting off furlough? Damn.
So Steven has turned gay now? Didn't Steven used to service his wife? Now he's turned gay?
I don't know. I think he's bi.
I don't know.
I think Steven's bi.
I just don't know there.
Who's the one living in the basement? It's
I
not
thought that was Butch Patrick's werewolf doll because Derek moved in upstairs and his kids started calling him Dad. While he was in the basement, he could overhear it. It was a tough spot.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's Butch Patrick's werewolf doll.
They won't let him out at all.
And he's the one paying the mortgage.
Yeah, it's that seems like a cock.
It seems like imprisonment.
You guys need me to come in and fix the audio and video situation, or do you want me to just continue to focus on booking guests for you? That's from It's Kathy, who booked us Chris Welsh yesterday.
Look, if you're going to hang your hat on a color analyst post-game show guy.
It's just a listener booking guest, though. It's not like a producer.
Did you see? And there was
guest.
the comment on the fan page. I do believe he just Googled them or looked at.
He didn't do that.
He probably did.
No, I'm sure he knows somebody.
Probably not.
Well, I
probably
did.
just Googled him.
Oh, I did exactly what you would think you would do right off the bat. I mean, I called Marty Brenneman, didn't answer. I'd have gotten a number. And then I just kind of went through Google and saw if he had any businesses, which he did. Reached out to those. They weren't open. Other than that, that's all I did.
Yeah.
Is the kind of move that will help him his whole career. I mean, that's one that...
Sometimes I feel like that is fake.
Could be. I think this interview yesterday really kind of set a precedent. That if the listeners want interviews, get them your own damn self.
I love
Set
setting
it up.
I
We're
love
not
setting
doing
that tone. Like,
Yeah.
I was walking in to do Balloon Party yesterday, and Tommy Mattern, head of programming here at Hubbard, said, "Hey, do you want Darren Pang every week on the show?" And I said, on the 101 show, and I said, "Yeah, absolutely." He goes, "All right, I'm going to try to do Jackson's job this year." I go, "Oh my God, shots are getting fired here. We got listeners booking guests."
yeah, he doesn't even know. It's Kathy.
I didn't know. He didn't even know probably about It's Kathy.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I
I
tell
hope
the
that doesn't get out.
We're on the fan page, and they say we. As soon as they say we should try to get him on. I'll say, go ahead and book him.
Yeah, because we're not doing it. We couldn't be bothered.
I say it all the time. When I see the word we, he'd be a great guest. We should get him. Go ahead, book him. I'm not.
You're kind of fed up with the listening audience.
No, but when they say we, then go ahead. If you want to consider yourself part of the show, go ahead and book them. Book her.
Well, do we have to do interviews that get booked?
No.
Yeah, Doug, are these being foisted upon us?
No.
We kind of pirate interviews all the time.
How
Like
often do we
yesterday.
do guests? Yesterday was a good guest because we played a clip from him and
Yeah.
he was fine.
Well, sure he was.
I want to meet you one day. I want to ask you a big favor. How about I come up to the station on Friday? Could I come up and meet you?
No. It's a good response to
He
that.
couldn't even wait to say
Yeah.
no.
See, we're just the opposite. We let people come in. And
I got to be honest
for
with
a
you.
sec.
I love that we don't have guests. I don't really want guests on the show.
No, I
He
know.
was good, but yeah, I agree. Like, no, yeah.
Like in a situation where it's timely, I'm interested, but I just, yeah.
Organic guests.
Yeah, it isn't something I really want to do.
And I never feel bad.
Honestly, it bores me. And I think most of the people in the audience, some like it, most don't want it. And if you do want guests, I mean, my God, Randy Carricker and Michelle Smallman get ridiculous guests. So I don't know. It's kind of where I am on guests.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt my feelings, but every once in a while, if I
It's
get
awkward too. It's kind of forced.
yeah, if I get thrown somebody that I think they might be interesting, and I'll send it to you, and 99% of the time you say no thanks. And that doesn't hurt my feelings, but it's just we don't do a ton of guests on the show.
So you have booked interviews.
He has booked interviews.
Well, listen, back
Tim
in the,
Meadows, he was great.
back in the day when I was
That would be an exception.
yeah, somebody like that.
But not just to have somebody,
No.
just to have somebody.
Right.
No, look, back in the day when I was a producer, I mean, nobody could touch me. When it came
Snag
to,
that. Snag that
When
if
it came
you
to
would.
Hall of Fame career?
yeah, when it came to producing in the city, nobody.
How many
could touch
people
me.
were competing for best producer in St. Louis at that time?
Well, every show had a producer.
Every show, Doug, had a producer.
Yeah, it's just I worked. I got good guests. I didn't just go through the Rolodex, go through the media guide, and go grab beat writers. And this lady who I've been in love with for 30 years, and it's good to talk to her again. It's been about a year and a half. We were talking about the lovely Nina Blackwood. Nina, how are you?
Hi, Iggy.
Oh, man, how many cigarettes have we smoking every day?
She sounded like that when she was in her 20s.
Oh, gosh.
I had to find Nina. I had to go do a little digging to find Nina.
Tim, that's why Iggy loves producing for you. He doesn't have to work. That's from Nate in Tallahassee. This Nate, Doug, he just woke up this morning,
Yeah.
and he wants Pepper, and he wants Genie, and he wants him in this crosshairs. That's what he
He's
wants.
the crawfish hunter?
Yeah.
In the panhandle.
Okay.
I really don't produce anymore. I mean, if Jackson needs something, he knows I'm here, but Jackson's the executive producer.
Jackson
I
is
let
the
him
guy.
produce.
He's our guy.
Yeah, if they need something,
I'm everyone's guy.
Exactly.
but I'm not a producer.
You're handsome.
I was talking to the guy out there playing with the fountain. I could get him on.
Should we just book strangers?
That would
Whoever
be
walks
interesting.
by.
Yeah, everyone's got a story.
Amen. There you go. That's essentially how we'll do it.
Yeah.
Guys, that's a little too cruel. Boy, that hillside.
Oh, we don't mind. No, I guess, yeah.
Hillside has kind of gone.
Yeah, I
To the
thought you
dark
spent
side.
an afternoon with him.
I thought we had fun. I mean, I beat him on 18.
Of course.
And there
Of course, you're the
Did he
hero.
go OB?
Yeah, 2 balls out of bounds.
that'll wrap that up.
I mean, you could have putted your way in.
Yeah, I made par anyway, but
Of course. Just a casual par.
It's a hell of a par.
I hit it up. Yeah, I hit a perfect drive.
Sure you
all the way up to the fringe, and when he saw that, he folded.
You're an intimidating force on the course, I'm sure.
Well, it was a $200 hole.
I'm sure it was.
Morning, guys. I know Iggy's huge get of David Keckner just got shot down quicker than a Larry wrestling segment, but I can probably get funny neighbor number 3 from NYPD Blues episode 3 from season 1, or Iggy's homeless buddy from the fountain. Thanks. That comes from, what was that hole where I was a little behind you?
Well, I mean, I just asked. I mean, I have an in with Helium Comedy Club, and he's coming to town doing kind of a cool thing. It's like an office trivia night, and he's hosting it, and then in between he's going to tell stories and things. So, but I didn't reach out yet because I was going to ask you first, but I see that's on a Friday night, and he's probably not coming in Thursday. So,
No, they reached out to me and Jackson, and I said, I think we'll politely decline this time.
Helium did?
Yeah.
That girl?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I don't think she likes it. I'm turning down all of her nobodies.
Well, calling them nobodies on the air probably doesn't help either.
Well, I mean,
You had Junior the Juice Man in.
I mean,
Yeah, you had, for the Pepper and Genie program.
Pepper and Genie. Yeah.
I did like him. It was fun.
Why don't you have David Keckner on Pepper and Genie? That'd be perfect for Pepper and Genie. It could be a banner moment for Pepper and
Why
Genie.
didn't she reach
I think
out to
I think
me?
he's coming on. I think Keckner's going on the Riz show and Courtney's show.
I'm sure he is.
Can you imagine? Hey, will you stop into Pepper and Genie?
We've had him on the show. I mean, it's just one of those things. I just, it's just not what I personally want to do, and I don't think it's that great a radio. Honestly, that's kind of where I am. That's like if you want to know the how I did the math.
We can get him in for Pepper and Genie.
Yeah, I think Pepper and Genie would be huge opportunity. It would be a totally different interview than I would imagine he's used to.
Oh, it'll be very buttoned up.
It'd be very buttoned.
We had a long conversation last time I had him on for Straight to the Web. He was going to the Super Bowl and he was going to be on Radio Row. And we had a big discussion on Radio Row. Get ready for that mess. I told him a story about me and Rome's producer getting into it. And we had a nice conversation.
The look of confusion on Doug's face is
Well, we're talking about
Doug
David
looked like he
Koechner,
was
so I'm telling
ready
a
to
story about David
get the
Koechner.
check.
Mr. Lick says, "Iggy, why do you act like a big shot so much these days? Is it the move to HD2?" That's from Mr. Licks.
What kind of a big shot am I trying to be? You want employees like me and Plowsy.
Yeah, why?
That's still
Great question. No, really, how am I acting like a big shot?
Mr. Licks, how is Iggy acting like a big shot?
By saying I was the best producer in the business back in the day? That's not a big shot. That's
Well, it's
just,
kind of telling people you're a big
well, it's
shot.
common knowledge. It's not.
It's not common knowledge. It's you boasting.
It's like states and capitals.
ESPN considered me one of the top 5 producers in the country.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm just going by what they said.
Yeah.
Is that
Sounds like a
Gallup.
BSM ranking.
Right.
And then I didn't want Barrett's chair, and that was the end of it.
Mr. Lick says, "Please have Keckner in for Pepper and Genie because what you're doing right now is not working." That's from Mr. Lick.
Well, don't listen.
Yeah, it is.
We really don't care if you listen or not.
Most people don't, in fact.
Just stop listening and bitching. Just stop listening completely. Then you don't have to talk about it. My God.
You'd like to scrub him from the rolls of listeners?
Yeah.
I think we've done good work.
It's like a 12-minute thing we throw up there. I mean, you don't have to listen.
Well, we,
You having a treat, bro?
honey bun. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we have anybody, to please. We're kind of doing it on our own thing. It's kind of a pet project that we wanted to do for a while.
Well, sure it is.
Look, if Tommy came to us tomorrow and said, really not selling it. I don't know about the downloads. You don't have to do it. Thank you.
Does he even know it's on?
Probably not.
Nobody knows it's on. I think that's the best part. It's like a hidden little gem.
Yeah.
Well, some people know it's on because they bitch every day.
Well, it's automatically downloaded on your phone, which is smart on management's part. Get that in there.
Mr. Licks is furious. "Tell Jackson to stop putting it on my damn phone."
How do I get blamed for this? Like, what did I do?
Well, you're the EP.
But like, I'm not like.
You put it on his phone.
Goodness. I don't know why I am somehow to blame. Or not to blame. Like, who cares?
Jackson.
Stop putting it on his
Jackson
I
finally,
used to tell Jeremiah Crow, if you don't want my chair, that's a problem.
he finally, at around 10:28 yesterday, was on the verge of just shutting her down on Balloon Party. The listeners
really?
had finally got him to a point where they landed a couple of uppercuts. He was wobbly, and then the door opens, and it's Jamie Rivers, and now he wants a piece of Jackson.
Oh.
Because there were a bunch of texts going into the fast lane saying that Jackson wants a piece of Jamie Rivers, and Jamie Rivers, really kind of not very 2022 of him, actually decided to confront Jackson face to face as opposed to tweeting at him, and said, "Hey, Piddles, I understand you got a problem with me."
Oh, what's the problem?
No, I have no beef with Jamie Rivers. I want to fight Jamie Rivers.
Why did you put him on your
That's
dance
exactly
card?
what I'm looking to do
Be a fair bout.
with my week this week. Because I'm trying to scrap with former NHLers. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. No, the backstory is Jamie Rivers bumped into me.
Doug, and that was enough to set Jackson off.
Oh,
we were
yeah,
at
Knocked
this-
me to the ground.
We had this one-on-one event last week, and Jamie Rivers kind of bumped into me, and he, like a nice gentleman he is, he said apologies, but then he finished off with apologies, Piddles.
Oh.
And Tim got a big kick out of that.
I enjoy that Jamie Rivers just referred to the gentleman as Little Piddles.
And so Tim tells the story on air, and then tells it again, and for some reason says that I was knocked over by Jamie Rivers, and they call me Piddles. And I was like, he didn't knock me over. Like, I didn't fall to the ground and spill my beverage. And then Tim said, what, you think you can take Jamie Rivers?
Yeah, fair.
And I was like, no. And then Jamie came in and confronted me.
Yep.
And Kerry Davis wanted a piece.
Yeah, and then in the next commercial break, Kerry Davis comes in, and now he wants a piece. I mean, Jackson's just... He's the heel down the hall.
See, yesterday I was exhausted by
He was
texting.
about ready to shut it down.
It had been a stressful hour and a half, and it culminated with just Jamie Rivers trying to confronting me.
Kerry Davis arrives 15 minutes late.
I couldn't handle it.
He did have 4 goals one year.
That's not bad for a rear guard.
No, it's not. He's a decent player.
Oh,
Why are you going off on Jamie Rivers?
Wow,
He's gonna confront you now.
Wow.
What? I said
Bad idea, Jeans.
I said he's
Bad
a decent
idea,
player.
Jeans.
What did I say?
He was a solid NHL player.
Decent and solid, same thing.
I think he was better than
Best
decent.
of luck.
I've always liked Jamie Rivers.
No,
This
that's
door is about to swing open.
Yeah, he'll cut.
Doug Plowhawk and I will excuse ourselves.
And they come in early too. They
I'm
don't.
stuck back here.
I've seen him sometimes at like 11. Isn't there a show at 2?
Correct.
Yeah. So they come in early and do show prep.
Yeah. I hope you did your push-ups today.
I have no problem with Jamie Rivers.
Well, he may have a problem with you. Calling
He
him
doesn't
just
even
a
know who I
decent
am.
player. He'll hear it through the grapevine.
He'll see me in the hall. He doesn't even know I work here.
He'll say, "Why are you chirping him, Brand?"
Thinks I'm here to pick up tickets.
You can hear it in Jackson's voice. The business is turning him grumpy. The bright-eyed optimism is wearing off. It's all downhill from here. It's from the 314.
No, I'm good.
I don't think that's the case.
I'm good.
If I thought it was the case, I would say, yeah, I can see. I don't think that's the case. I think there are a handful of people who text into 101 ESPN who wear him out.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think Jackson's...
Is it because you're giving too many NBA updates?
No, that'll never stop. That's like the highlight of my day. But I have like, it's just a couple people where it's just like, okay, like I get it.
Block him.
No, not my modus operandi. I don't block.
Yeah, I don't think they blocked there.
No, and there's no reason. I mean, these people. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, if they're getting under your skin.
They don't get under my skin. It's just, it's like, okay, I get it. Like, it's enough. But what are you gonna do?
It's Kathy says, well, that was transparent. Bacon got jealous because Jackson got attention from Jamie Rivers, so he took an intentional shot at Jamie Rivers
my God.
so that he could get called the name too. It's sad, really. Make fun of me too, Jamie. Make fun of me too. That's right. It's Kathy, Doug, fourth producer here on the Ryan Kelly Morning.
Yeah,
Official
that's-
first
you
producer.
got me. Exactly what I want to do. I don't even see Jamie Rivers. He does a 2 o'clock show.
You'll see him now.
I'm out of here at
See him
10:30.
now. Yeah.
And he wouldn't even know me if he knows me by seeing me because we've seen each other, but he doesn't know who I am.
Listening to this story has Iggy pouting hardcore.
Oh, my
Iggy,
God.
let the young prince have some fun and be the center of attention for once. It's not all about you. That's from Mr. Licks, who is very active this morning. Speaking of stories, one time I told David Keckner a story. Also, Jamie Rivers. That's from Downtown Asperman.
God, I threw out that he was a decent defenseman. You think Jamie Rivers is listening to the show this morning?
No,
he's
probably not.
probably listening
Well,
to Michelle
it'll
and
get back to
Randy.
him. People will record it and send it to
Well,
him.
there's nothing to get back to him. I didn't say anything.
He said, well, he had won 4 goals one year, as if
He
to
did.
say, as
For a
if to
defenseman,
diminish
there's
those
not
accomplishments.
many defensemen on the Blues that have 4 goals in a year.
Guys, Jackson's about 6 months away from leaving the fan page on his last day and standing on the back of a trash truck. That's from Big Tough.
Not the case.
He must have a good
I couldn't
job.
be happier where I am. Seriously, like I loved what I do.
He must
How
have a
about
good
that,
job.
Doug? How
He's-
about that? There's happiness there from
Sure
Jackson.
there is.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I have a couple one-on-one texts would get on my skin. It's not going to change anything about me.
Block him.
Pete's posting a lot of golf pictures lately.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Not just
Did he
every-
get a hole in one? He got a hole in one this
He
year.
did, yeah, I saw that.
Aberdeen.
Nice.
Oh boy, Pete. You'll see, hear him tomorrow.
On this show?
Pick 6.
Now
Pick
there's a
6.
guy you could tell
First week of picking games, baby.
was exhausted from the industry.
100%.
The first week.
Yeah.
100%.
He's like,
As he should have been.
he's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What time was this email sent?
Did we always do the pick 6 on Thursdays?
New schedule.
I don't know. It was either Wednesday night or Thursday night.
Last year was
Probably
Wednesday's night.
Yeah.
But we wanted to get away from nights.
This is going to suck if we do Thursdays. I mean, there goes all of my golf picks. Tournament's already started.
Yeah, but it's closer to football, which is what the majority
Well, I
of
do
people
golf.
What do you mean your golf
Yeah,
pick?
that's probably why I got changed.
Why can't you still do your golf pick?
Well, the tournament starts Thursday mornings. We do
So?
golf. Well, I can't pick them if the tournament's already started.
You can still make a
Don't you
golf
pick
play.
names on Wednesday?
How about this? You can submit them to us
he's
the night before or the morning of
There you
before the
go.
tournament, and then you can talk about them on the podcast, and then we'll have a little information perhaps at that time.
Right, and if you send it
We're
to
just doing this so we can do it during the day.
Right.
For me, with the two boys now, to be doing podcasts at 6 or 7 at night just doesn't work. And I honestly thought some people would drop out. I thought Joe or Gangster Pete or G Unit would most likely bail. But they're all back, Doug. They're all back.
All of them back. Yeah.
Even though Joe resigned mid-podcast last week.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he and Iggy.
Just for that week or for good?
I think we got him back.
Okay.
I told him to get out, and he did. Well, he didn't go anywhere. He just said he was resigning and stayed right there.
Guys, what is Plowboy watching on his phone? Let's change the subject from Iggy for a couple of minutes. That's from the 314. Plowboy, what are you watching on your phone?
I mean, it was black screen. But I guess what was on my Twitter, I don't know. It was this guy who went to Chicago for the weekend. I wasn't really watching. It was just like it was up on my
I
phone.
have no idea. Somebody saw you watching something and texted in. Beats the hell out of me.
That's an interesting subject for a video. Guy going to Chicago.
And that's literally what it called. 28-year-old
Clickbait,
spent the
clearly.
weekend in Chicago.
Only 36 hours away from the Fighting Tigers. I figured you'd have a take to get off on Twitter.
No, I'm gonna.
If somehow Louisiana Tech gets like a field goal in the first possession, you better believe Plowsy's going to have his Twitter ready to go.
If La Tech is anywhere within 10 points of Mizzou at any point in the game,
It's gonna be
including
hot seat
0-0,
Central.
yeah, there'll be a take
Hot
or two.
seat.
Although I can't believe I'm going to this. My 15th high school reunion on
Oh,
Saturday.
wow.
that'll be
How do
fun.
you do?
Most of the people that I, is like my friends probably won't be there.
Why not?
Well,
Mace Dog, Reef, the guy who does porn.
Rick and Oz in Costa Rica. Dever doesn't really associate with Canton at all, so I'd be shocked if he left the porn scene for the weekend to go up to Canton. But it'll be fun.
Might be
Because
some
I'll see my
uncomfortable
buddy
questions.
Reaper, yeah. So, we'll be watching the Tigers at the bar.
How many in your graduating class?
It was 104 to start, but we had 6 pregnancies, so they didn't finish. So 100, I think, something
Yeah.
like that.
They didn't finish just because they were
Well, they
pregnant?
go to like they
You
call it
got
like an
GEDs.
alternative school,
Yeah.
but it's not GED. It's just it's kind of that GED process while you're in high school. But they did not get to walk. So 100 in the graduating class, I think, something like that.
That's not bad.
It's not
Be a
terrible.
fun
I think
party.
81 people will be there.
You'll be glad that you went when you go. You don't think that now, but when you go, you'll be glad to see everybody.
But in
again.
those types of small town environments, most of the people that go to the reunion are just people that already live there. So for me, it'll feel different because I don't associate with the people on a daily basis and don't live in that area.
But you knew every one of them probably.
Yeah, to live 2 minutes away from the reunion site,
Yeah.
I think would give it a little bit less fun since you see
Yeah.
people on a daily
Well,
basis.
I know you'd be happy that you went. wouldn't
Just
you?
gonna get plastered. Yeah.
Well, don't.
I'm gonna watch the Gers.
Fight Tiger.
What is it? 11 a.m. kickoff?
7
Thursday.
p.m.
Oh, is it a Thursday? Oh, a Thursday night. Oh, wow. Okay, I thought it was Saturday. No. Wow.
Yeah, I was wondering about your reunion being on a Thursday. It was surprising to me. But
No.
then I arrived at the conclusion you thought the game was on Saturday.
Thursday. That's awesome. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you'll be able to come in and spit fire on Friday morning should Louisiana Tech come in and shock the world.
Dude, that's amazing. I do love that it's a 7 p.m. tomorrow night game. I'm excited. I will watch every minute of that game.
Will you?
Well, like Luther Burden, my dude.
That's your dude.
He'll be a stud.
Kevin's brother Jack Demoff writes, Dave Matter writing yesterday morning in the Post-Dispatch about how Louisiana Tech's air raid offense could pose some problems for Mizzou's defense is some pretty hilarious hedging. But let's be honest, it's 100% warranted. That's from Kevin's brother. His first name is Jack. His last name is Demoff.
All right. Well, I don't know that we know a whole lot about Mizzou's secondary yet. It wasn't great last year.
And I think I would know less about the Louisiana Tech air raid attack.
Well, their quarterback can spin it a little bit, and if his receivers can stay open and stay healthy, and he can have some accuracy, get a little bit of time to throw. He can do some damage.
We need a depth chart.
Jamie Rivers is on hold.
Jamie Rivers is on hold?
Yeah, it's actually him too.
Gosh.
Jamie Rivers is on the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines. Yesterday, he accosted Little Piddles. Today, it might want to be a conversation with one Ken Iggy Strode. Jamie Rivers of the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Doug, you can hear it from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, I listen to
I believe it's the top-rated show in the market, as a matter of fact. Good morning, Jamie.
Oh, hi, guys. How are we doing? Of course, I fired up my HD2 radio this morning. And,
He's already taking shots.
Doug, we might want to back
hearing
away.
From Iggy, I don't even know. The guy doesn't talk to me in the hallways, doesn't say hi, nothing, ever. All of a sudden, my name is coming out of his mouth. I don't understand this stuff, guys. What the hell is going on over there?
I said you wouldn't know me from Adam. I've seen you like twice.
I know, and then my name comes out of your mouth talking about how poor I played as a senior.
Oh,
I never said that.
God.
Who said that? I
That's
said
going on, and people are angry, Iggy.
I said you're a decent defenseman.
Decent.
That's what I said.
Well, to me, decent is like a good defenseman. I mean, you weren't a superstar. You know that.
Listen, I'll take decent. Some of the words that Mike Keenan calls me, I'll take.
What's the worst thing he ever called you?
Well, worst thing he ever did, what he called me was, hey, you're going back to the minors.
Oh, that wasn't nice.
About 4 times in 1 week.
So he wasn't a real sweetheart of a guy?
No. Just to give you a little inside scoop on it, when I finally, the last time I talked to Mike Keenan was I was playing in Florida. Because, of course, Mike called me as an unrestricted free agent, said he needed a guy like me in his locker room in Florida. Little did I know that's where he was going to leave me most of the time. And last thing I said to Mike Keenan was, I said, one day, Mike, I'm going to see you in a bar, and you're not going to be very happy about that. That was it.
That wrapped it up.
But
Last game as a Panther.
But to make it to the NHL and have a nice career and then hear people in St. Louis say, well, I don't know, decent defenseman.
Yeah,
it's got to sting a little bit.
Especially when it's on HD2.
Yeah.
200 stitches to my face, broken noses, all that stuff. It was decent. All right, Iggy.
Well, to me, decent and nice career are the same thing. I just have a different explanation than Doug. He said you had a nice career, and I said decent and nice are the same thing.
Okay, all right, Iggy. I'm just telling you, when I've got this little phone on the side of my bed and it starts to ring, and people tell me that when stuff goes down.
That's the way it works, doesn't
Little
it?
piddle the other day talking smack about me,
Who called you? It's Kathy?
I can't reveal my sources.
You can't reveal
You
your
know that.
sources.
Well,
You've been in this media world long enough.
Well, I meant nothing by it. You know that.
I know, Iggy. I'm just bugging you, buddy.
You guys have a great
I
show
figured
over
I'd
there,
call
and
have
keep up
some
the good
fun with
work.
you guys.
God bless, brother. Thanks, Jamie.
All right, boys. Have a good one.
There
All
he
right,
is, Jamie
thank you.
Rivers. Phone starts ringing.
Gosh, you can't badmouth anybody anymore.
Plowhawk, I guess you're next. He's gone through Jackson. He's gone through Iggy.
Yeah, I'm good. What up, Jamie?
Another patented backtracking from the deep-fried Oompa Loompa. Just like Riggs. That's from Bentonville Bear.
There was no backtracking. I call him decent again on the air. So what am I backtracking at? Decent is a good career. I mean, well, I should be in the Hall of Fame. It was a nice, decent career for 10 years or so.
Anyone else in the building you'd like to take a shot at?
I wasn't taking a shot at him.
Brad Thompson, maybe?
Randy's still here.
No, Brad Thompson's great.
But you called Jamie decent.
Well, I said his career. If I want to talk about on air, I'd say he's great on the air. They got a great show over there, the Fast Lane.
Yeah.
Brad Thompson is great on the broadcast. I never see him anymore. He doesn't come in here. He's always on the road. I love Brad Thompson. I love Jamie Rivers, too. We were talking about his career. We weren't talking about a show. You want to talk about the Fast Lane? Great show.
Only Brad Thompson doesn't show up anymore.
Well, he's got a...
He was here yesterday.
All right, well, I didn't see him yesterday. I guess Edmonds is on the road this week.
He is.
I don't see the game, so I don't know.
Oh. It all gets back to
Oh my
Bally
God.
Sports.
I love everybody in this building. So there you go. I'll just take care of everything now. I love everybody in
There
this
it is,
building.
Doug. That is the official statement from Iggy in case Jamie Rivers walks by him today and just throws him up against the wall.
Right, I know.
And I do say hi to him when I see him. So,
I'd go the other way if he's coming.
so to say that I never say hi to him, I say hi every time I see him.
He backpedaled quicker than he did with Riggs and Zanaboni. That's from Harrison's brother Master.
And I take exception to the Zanaboni thing.
Oh, do you?
I said exactly to his face or to his voice on the phone that I always said. I said, I wish him all the best. I just don't care for the style.
Freeze like a cryogenic lamb. Yeah. I want to hear the beginning of that
Okay,
again.
I got you, Doug. I got you.
Freeze like a
Doug instantly lit up.
I said the same thing to him that I say in the air. I have nothing against the guy. He's probably a good kid. Wish him all the best.
One more time,
just
please.
not my cup of tea.
Freeze like a freeze like a
I'm trying to say cryogenic. So there's no backpedaling.
Oh,
Just stop with that, please.
Hey, Corpsey, how would you characterize your own career? That's from Tervis Parish. Doug, you ever heard anybody called Corpsey?
God, that's good.
is that someone who's just barely alive? Corpsey.
I was a great producer, but overall, probably mediocre. As far as if you had everything else in there. Mediocre career. Money-wise, terrible career.
Mr. Licks says, why is it that Jackson picks up Jamie Rivers on the first ring, but us callers have to call in 5 times before he bothers to pick it up? That's from Mr. Licks.
Just think about it for a second.
Yeah, that's kind of a stupid question, actually.
Nor is that true. I pick up Lick's call. How many times has he been on the air? Like in the last 2 weeks? 10 times? Like I get him on every time. Licks. Bum.
Yeah, you gotta
now
earn
Mr.
being on
Licks is-
hold.
I'm exhausted. This show's, what is it, 45 minutes in?
50 minutes in, man.
Gonna warn you out.
God, I'm wore out.
Want me to freshen your coffee for you?
No, I'm going to do it myself here soon.
Freeze like a
There you go, Doug. Like the last time.
I'm going to start streaming the show on YouTube immediately so I can see Jamie Rivers bust into the studio and break the hip of the walking STD. That's from the St. Charles Hermaphrodite.
Never had one. Believe it or not, I've
A
never
broken
had
hip or an STD?
one. Neither.
Yeah, well, you don't want either. If you had to have one or the other, which would you pick?
Which STD are we talking?
The STD.
Mount Rushmore of STD.
The STDs go away.
Chlamydia, maybe?
They go away pretty quickly.
Yeah, like gonorrhea is a week.
Yeah, hip will take a while.
Yes, it will.
And you don't have like a significant other to like pass it along to either.
No, it is kind of. Well, I was always, even as many as I've had, for the most part, I was careful.
Uh-oh.
I usually wore a
Doug,
condom.
breaking news here, and I hate to interrupt it.
Oh, no.
But Daddy Padre is the one who, I think, notified Jamie Rivers.
Oh, God.
Oh, Iggy,
wow.
if you're watching on YouTube.
Wow.
Did he admit to that?
He said, another guest I booked, check mark. And he's backtracking faster than Pick 6 Ty Hill. And he sent a little kissy face emoji.
Well, that just shows how big of an attention whore he is. He lets us know that he's the one who called Jamie Rivers. They talked about me again. Why do we even read his text? We should ban him from the text line, too. I mean,
He's banned from the text line.
He's in the YouTube chat.
Oh, God. Maybe we can just stop reading him and just stop giving him the attention he
But if you wanted
craves.
to know how Jamie Rivers found out about it,
that's it.
which I was kind of curious about as well,
Yeah,
honestly.
he wasn't listening.
I was very curious, to be frank.
It probably woke him up.
Well, we could have just said that off the air instead of giving him the attention he wants.
Wouldn't that be an interesting radio show, though? Is every time the host criticized the player immediately
calls
calls in?
in.
That
Nah,
would
I'd
be
listen every
sick.
day.
Oh, that
And that's
radio
just-
would advance at that point.
And it's evidently that's
Drink call in every day to talk to Plaza.
Drink.
Unbelievable.
obvious. He only did that for one reason, to think he's a big shot that, hey, I didn't know Jamie Rivers' number. Big effing deal.
Oh.
I mean, why don't you stop? You wonder why I just dislike people like this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well,
Congrats. You know Jamie Rivers, and you got his phone number. Great. And you're calling him at 7:30 in the morning to tell him that he was talked about on the radio. God, what a loser.
oh,
The 314 says Piddles definitely texted Rivers to deflect from himself. That's from the 314. I would bet against that. I don't
is
think that's.
false.
I don't think that's in Jackson's DNA.
No.
That is false. I'll bring in my phone if need be to show you my.
Doug, would you like
text.
to see Jackson's phone?
I don't really need to.
Right.
You know.
Oh, and Jackson knows I wasn't trying to do anything either, so that's just dumb.
What's up?
Well,
Doug,
Sorry,
you know it's not dumb.
Yeah.
My
Dense
headphones,
Express.
my headphones unplugged there for
No,
a second. I
that's-
couldn't hear anything.
they do very, very smart work. They're technicians. Many have been around 20, 30 years working with Dense Express and the Wilson family. It's a family-owned and operated business. That's Dense Express, where you take your car if you got minor body damage. They've got that PDR, which you guys don't get, but they sure get it at Dense Express. That's paintless dent repair,
Sick.
where they can restore your car to its original look without having to repaint it, having it down for a long time, adding to the expense. They don't need to do that. They have ways to repair minor dents and dings without having to repaint. They got 2 locations. They're on Manchester Road in West County, just west of 270, about a mile, and out in St. Charles. Also, go see Gray. It will make your day. And Gray says if you tell them that TMA sent you, they'll knock 10% off the price. That's a pretty good deal. So don't live with your car if it's got those dents and dings or hail damage. You never know when the hail's going to come again. They specialize in removing hail damage, so keep that in mind next time we have a storm. The website is denseexpressstl.com. Go see Gray. It'll make your day. And remember, if your car is a dimpled mess, go see Dense Express.
That's correct. Hey, cybersecurity is the most exciting career in technology and one of the most in demand. Centric can train you for a career in cybersecurity, and they can do it in just 4 months. Centric's hands-on program teaches you the actual job skills you need to get started. No history, no biology, just technology. That's how they do it in just 4 months. Even if you have no IT experience, and you can do it online, or you can do it in person, you can do it in the evening, or you can do it during the day, whichever works best for you. If you're interested in a career in cybersecurity, call Patrick Nealon at Centric Training today, and he'll walk you through Centric's cutting-edge program and show you everything Centric does to help get you started in your new IT career. Call 314-450-4714 or go to centric.com/STL. That's CENTRIQ.com/STL. Cybersecurity is a problem for every business in St. Louis, and you can be part of the solution. It is Centric.
Oh,
What do you think about the pause? Because I know you kind of use the
very
pause.
dramatic, very effective,
Catches
Tim.
people's attention. It catches people's attention. Iggy is legit rattled this morning. Set the over-under on his 8 a.m. break at 9.5 minutes after the show is back on the air. That's from Mrs. Janie Shannon. He is out of the studio now.
Yeah.
He's exasperated whenever Doug and I do live endorsements.
He can't stand to sit here and listen to him. He's got business to attend
I
to.
don't even know where he is. I just looked in the kitchen.
He's
I didn't
getting a
see him.
snack or something.
No, he doesn't eat this early.
Yeah, he doesn't. He actually
Okay.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Let's see. Whoever that was, Mrs. Janie Shanahan said he will not be back until 9.5 minutes after we start up our appliance discounters. 8 o'clock hour. Send your emails in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. We close out our Mungan St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour here, and welcome you to watch to see if Jamie Rivers enters the studio and throws Iggy up against the wall.
I think it could happen.
YouTube.com/TMASTL. Iggy has returned right as we're going to break.
Yeah.
And we'll come back with our appliance discounters. 8 o'clock hour. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at TMASTL.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Join the Ryan Kelly Morning After, September 22nd at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills for the night before the sold-out Lemmings Open pre-party. It's a night of TMA Live from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Join your TMA favorites as the guys host a wing-eating contest, trivia, and plenty of games. Get $16 domestic bucket specials, and don't miss their house specialty Reuben rolls. It's a free event brought to you by Mick Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. And Munganast Acura and Toyota, better than ever for you, their customer. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com. Man, Ryan, the home buying market is competitive as all get out right now.
You need every leg up you can get. You need every advantage you can get, and that's what we give you at the HomeLoanExpert.com. We have a 10-day closing guarantee. That's right, 10 days. If that doesn't make your offer stand out, not sure what will. We also have lower rates, over a quarter point lower than the national average. We don't just talk about low rates, we have them. And at the HomeLoanExpert.com, we have programs for almost anybody. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? The HomeLoanExpert.com.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
And now the Pepper and Genie Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepper and Genie.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
Celebrate all your college and fantasy teams' totally touchdowns this weekend with Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. May your team be swift and their aim be true. May the refs be forever in your favor and your whiskey always Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, smooth sipping Irish whiskey, made exactly for game day moments like this. When it's game time, it's totally time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
40% alcohol by volume. Imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York. Please enjoy Tullamore Dew responsibly.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2. Collinsville, St. Louis.
We're bringing the World Series back. Yeah. Those Cardinal players just know how to act. Yeah. They'll kill those Tigers with the swing of the bat. Yeah. Cause those Redbirds just know where it's at. Yeah. Bring it to the loop.
Nice.
Baseball fans, you see these Cardinals are the best in the land. They gonna whip ya if you misbehave. Cause they know to wash their hands before they play.
So good.
Take it to St. Louis. Home run Pujols, World Series, baby. Strikeout Carp, World Series, baby. Home run Yachty, World Series, baby. Strikeout Soup, World Series, baby. Home run Duncan, World Series, baby. Strikeout Weed, World Series, baby. Home run Roland, World Series,
Joe
baby.
Roderick.
Get your sexy on, World Series, baby.
Joe Roderick just peeked in.
So, you got free food here or something?
We're bringing the World Series back.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
these
so good.
Cardinal fans just know how to act.
Yeah.
They'll scream and shout till they get their wish.
Yeah.
World Series title for the new Bush. Yeah.
Bring it to the loop. Boom.
Home run So, World Series, baby. Strikeout Reyes, World Series, baby. Home run Spezio, World Series, baby. Strikeout Johnson, World Series, baby. Home run Edmonds, World Series, baby. Strikeout Wainwright, World Series, baby. Go LaRussa, World Series, baby. Get your sexy on, World Series, baby.
See, with Wish, she could have rhymed with "We're going to the World Series in this bish."
Oh, Billy.
But she went way too conservative.
What does bish mean?
Bitch.
Oh.
But Bush and Wish, that's when it really...
No, I like it, and I like it a lot. Hey, it's the Ryan Kelly Morning After. This is our Appliance Discounters, 8 o'clock hour. Appliance Discounters, your hometown appliance source, featuring major brands like GE, Timothy Mike McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, the Plowhawk, and Action Jackson. Iggy is out for the beginning of the segment, working on a couple of assignments. And
just kind of gathering himself.
Well, we are 30 seconds from starting, and I said, "Oh, hey, there's Iggy." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm going out to smoke real quick." So apparently those 5 minutes, I don't know what he does.
Talks to the guy at the fountain, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he could get like an Iggy GoPro sponsored. Like to where like he leaves the studio and then you have like a cam shot of like where he goes.
Or he might just walk around trashing the people who work at some of the other stations.
Yeah, have the volume off.
Get involved in the program, 314-881-TMA5. It's the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. That is how you can text into the show. Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. And, of course, call in like Jamie Rivers did to confront Iggy. Using the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone line, 636-9004-TMA. EDF at Engineer Design Facility, sponsor of our text inbox. Their fire division is now testing, inspecting, and maintaining the fire systems on all commercial kitchen and restaurant hoods. If you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com, and they'll have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com, the official commercial fire alarm services and solutions provider of TMA. It's Engineered Designed Facilities, EDF, Engineered Design Facilities. Jackson, can you tell the people about the Wolfpack?
Absolutely. So you've probably been hearing a lot about these rising interest rates and the shifts in the market, but if you're looking to buy or sell a house, I'd like to talk to you about Trish Wolf and the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack is a top-producing realty group servicing the entire St. Louis metro area and surrounding counties all the way out to the Lake of the Ozarks. People may have a lot of questions about the current real estate market. From either a buyer's or seller's perspective. Is it a good time to buy? Did they miss out on that seller's market for the past few years? Well, they have all the answers and more for you over at the Wolfpack, powered by Worth Clark Realty. You give them a call at 314-807-WOLF, and Trish Wolf will answer the phone herself. You know, that's rare when you're going to be talking with a realty group that the person in charge is going to be answering the phone. But Trish Wolf over at the Wolfpack will answer that call. They have knowledgeable agents with excellent strategies, and they are ready to work for you. If you don't believe me, here are some stats. The Wolfpack is in the top 5% nationwide on Zillow. And if you're selling that house, the Wolfpack will sell that home on average over the list price.
What?
So whether you're buying or selling your house, the only realty group you need is the Wolfpack. They'll save you money on the buy side. They'll make you money on the sell side. It's just that simple. Call them at 314-807-WOLF or visit their website. That's trishwolf.com. Again, that's trishwolf.com.
There it is, the Wolfpack here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. If you are interested in having your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather interviewed by me, by Doug, by Jackson, or by Learn of KC95, go to mysoundstory.com, and they can come into the studio here at Hubbard Radio, the very studio we are in, and have about an hour long, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes, just depends, conversation, and we send you the MP3 link, and you can send it to all of your friends and family and always have your loved one's story saved forever. And if you're looking for a gift, just go and get a gift certificate right now at mysoundstory.com. That's where you can schedule them, and that is where you can get the gift certificates. It's mysoundstory.com here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Doug, could you tell us about the Bertarelli Cutlery people like Marco Bertarelli?
Well, he's the best, and he's the longest-running sponsor on the show. Marco Bertarelli is. He's also the gold standard when it comes to having your knives sharpened in the locally owned and operated family business on the Hill, where you can get your nitro gloves. The price of gloves has really skyrocketed over the past few years, and if you've been following that famous glove blogger, Tom Traven, and you should be, you know the need and demand for nitro gloves has returned in a big way. Everybody is using them. These are gloves you may want for any kind of job, or if you have a latex allergy, or maybe you're working in the medical field where they need lots of them. Bertarelli has purchased truckloads of these gloves. They buy in bulk and then pass the savings along to you. Tom Traven says these gloves are hard to find now because of current conditions with COVID making a bit of a comeback, especially in our schools. But they've got them in big numbers at Bertarelli. If you or your company needs nitro gloves, Bertarelli is your place to go. And Labor Day, right around the corner, it's a holiday for hard scrabble working boys and their stepdads. You appreciate Bertarelli for their ability to sharpen up your tools on Labor Day. Chainsaw, axe, knife, or lawnmower blades, you name it. You bring the blade to Bertarelli Cutlery, and they'll make those tools work like they did 20 years ago. Bertarelli also has repair and maintenance on slicers. If you have a commercial-grade slicer that needs work, or if you want to buy a new one, Bertarelli can handle that also. They'll have you slice them like the Dickens. Bertarelli Cutlery is at 1927 Marconi Avenue on the Hill. The website is bertarellico.com.
There it is. Bertarelli Cutlery, sponsor of our Cuts of the Week, and a sponsor of TMA going back to 2007. It's the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour, your hometown appliance source featuring major brands like GE. Get involved on the program if you would like to. Doug, Jason Barrett's podcast is back.
Oh, good.
And kind of a fun clip here, because I know we were wondering how the Barrett Sports Media Summit went, and also the what happened at the Milwaukee Sports Talk station. And this clip has it all.
Okay, it'd be nice to hear.
Also, a quick update. I've been asked a bunch over the summer about the BSM Summit. When's the next one, JB? Where's it going to take place, JB? I have decided on the city. I'm finalizing the details with the venue and hotel. If all goes right, I'll announce the details during the first week in September. But first, business has to be done. So stay tuned for an announcement, hopefully in the next few weeks. But that's for a later time. Time now to dive into the recent events in Milwaukee. It's part of this week's What I've Seen or Heard.
Attention. Have I got your attention now?
We broke the news on our website last Wednesday. 1250 The Fan in Milwaukee was eliminating local programming. The Fan in Milwaukee was one of the first stations I worked with when I launched BSM. Former PD Tom Parker reached out to me in 2016. He brought me to town. I spent 2 days with former GM Chuck Sullivan and the station's on-air team, which included at the time Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. They were a professional bunch, yet they were still eager for input. They wanted to do more. They were very hungry and easy to work with. I left that visit very excited about the future for the brand, but probably even more so for a few of the individuals I crossed paths with who I hadn't known prior to that trip. Case in point, when I worked with Score North a few years later, we brought Rami into the Twin Cities.
Oh, Rami.
Maybe that never happens if I don't spend those 2 days in Milwaukee working with the Fan.
I don't know.
Oh, my God almighty.
He takes no... There's no negative of him being there 4 years or 5 years before it completely caved. But when he was there, he made some people's careers.
The big story are the stations are going completely out of business that he is a consultant for. When's the next update, JB? When's the next update, JB?
I brought in Rami
when
and
I launched
Sparky.
BSM. Former PD Tom Parker reached out to me in 2016. He brought me to town. I spent 2 days with former GM Chuck Sullivan and the station's on-air team, which included at the time Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
I like that name.
Like I said, at the time, the then GM, so he didn't last very long either.
No. But at least he has decided on a city where to hold the next summit.
Guys, is this real? That's from Colorelli.
It is.
It is indeed Colorelli.
He's the only guy I know who could praise himself and pat himself on the back for a station that just folded.
It's folding, and he couldn't give himself
Actually, I know others. Gotta be honest with you.
Like, that to me is insane.
He's really hamstringing himself, too, with his guests in the first time of the Jason Barrett podcast. He's got pretty good guests right now, but there's no way it lasts. Like, he had Jim Rome on last week, and he had Feinbaum on this week.
Well, those are the guys he pays to come to a summit.
Eventually, he's going to be back to Frank Frangie or whoever it is.
Yeah, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
Which someone has already claimed in the text.
Somebody is now Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Conclusion the Stripper
Steve
is now Sparky Pfeiffer.
Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
What about Romy?
Rami. Welcome to the Twin Cities.
We brought him to the Twin Cities.
We brought Rami. Like, we all know who that is.
And that, he literally said at the end, that wouldn't have happened without me spending 2 days there.
With Chuck Sullivan.
I mean...
And he thinks the whole country wants to hear this stuff?
That's embarrassing. Like, that last part was so embarrassing. A station that is literally folding. He's patting himself on the back and giving credit.
I got to be honest, cutting that audio, I was trying to cut the fat to get under 2 minutes, and there was some gold I left out, too. It never ceases.
Maybe use that tomorrow.
That's so crazy.
Can't get enough of it.
I'm just glad he's back doing the podcast again. Much needed content.
And those rejoins, that was like in the early 90s that people did that, right? Do I have your attention? I mean, did that...
Very serious, important stuff.
There's not one person that reached out to him. JB, where's the summit? JB, how's the summit coming? JB, where's it going to be? No one asked that question.
If it's more than one, I would be utterly shocked.
Yeah. Well, who would go to these summits?
No one went to the last one. I remember there was a picture, and it looked like 15 people. It's like $250 a head. It's like the most expensive wedding you've ever gone to. Only it's a bunch of overweight dudes, like heavily breathing, talking about war.
Sports talk radio?
I was told the stations that he works for sends their people. Sends 2 or 3 of their people from that station he works for. That's what I was told.
To learn what? His ideas on what would improve sports talk radio shows?
Whatever he stole from ESPN.
Now, the station, the people they pick to send, is this more of a punishment? Is it the top-tier guys, or is it more interns, weekend programming?
I don't know.
I'm curious to how they choose which talent.
People probably want to go. We don't get many out-of-town trips in this business anymore. So.
Oh, you could tell me I'm going to the BSM Summit in Vegas.
And you'd go.
And I would decline immediately.
Oh, you would? Well, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer wouldn't. He'd go.
Although the content would be gold if you had a cash scam and you got in there.
Mm-hmm. Doug, Cardinal fans are buzzing about a story on Barstool Sports. This is the number. Jackson, this is the #1 trending story on Barstool. Is that what you said, or is it somewhere else?
It was this morning. The #1 trending article on Barstool was this. I think it might be a blog, but.
Doug, do you know Chris Klemmer?
I don't know him.
He goes by Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
I've heard of him.
And he writes, on July 5th, Albert Pujols was hitting 189 with 4 home runs on the season. He was about to play in the All-Star game, and that seemed like a kind gesture to honor a legendary player. And then he got hot. Red hot. Since then, he's batted .388 with 11 home runs and 98 at-bats. He went from being someone who had his roster spot on name alone to being one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's sitting at 694 home runs and would only be the 4th player in MLB history to hit 700 home runs. I wish I could enjoy this run more. This whole hot streak just feels fishy to me. Pujols was accused of taking performance-enhancing drugs before. In 2013, Jack Clark, the former slugger turned radio host, said on his show that Pujols' old trainer told Clark that Pujols had used steroids in his rookie season. Pujols started the process to sue Clark before he rescinded his claims and issued Pujols a public apology. Pujols dropped the lawsuit. In Pujols' defense, if he was going to use PEDs, wouldn't he have done it much earlier? He struggled for years with the Angels. That must have been so frustrating, and you'd think temptation would be greater back then. On the other hand, it makes it harder to believe this recent hot streak when he hasn't been this good in several years. It seems that the media is celebrating this run, but with a bit of apprehension. No one is publicly accusing. Just real quickly, I just want to ask, do you notice that the media, now because we're in the St. Louis bubble, but do you get the sense that the media nationally is celebrating it with a bit of apprehension?
No.
I honestly don't, but this is all subjective, but I'm just curious if that's something that I've noticed people on Twitter say the ball is juiced, but those are like, people's burners saying the ball is juiced, but I haven't noticed it on MLB Network or on ESPN. That's what I'm saying. And I'm wondering if you guys have noticed it, Doug.
No, I have not noticed it at all.
The media loves it.
Yeah, that's been my...
This is the first guy to say anything like what he's saying.
It seems that the media is celebrating this run, but with a bit of apprehension. No one is publicly accusing Pujols of anything nefarious, and they shouldn't do that outright without proof. But it also feels like no one is asking any questions. In the aftermath of the steroid era, many baseball reporters lamented that they didn't probe enough and were more than willing to blindly cover the home runs fly around them. The only difference between now and then is the coverage is more muted. That might have more to do with baseball not being as popular as it was, or fans having a much more cynical eye towards the players than reporters do. We now live in a world where fans provide the reality check to the people that cover the game. The tables have completely turned. I'm not saying Pujols is using PEDs. None of this feels right, but on the other hand, why would a player risk tarnishing his legacy for a couple months of adulation? Albert Pujols is just as much of a Hall of Famer with 690 home runs as he is with 702. The reward doesn't seem worth the risk. It absolutely sucks that this is something that we can't simply enjoy like we would have 30 years ago, but this is the bed that players and owners made by either cheating or ignoring cheating for so long. Now everyone becomes a suspect whenever anything good happens. I know many fans don't care either way if a player used PEDs. I disagree with that because I think it creates an unfair environment when other players don't. That's also a hypocritical standpoint for me to take because when I read Ball 4, I had no issues with players using greenies. My take is that PEDs alter the playing field so greatly that it's a far worse transgression. The steroid era was baseball's Watergate. Long after Nixon died, it's the distrust in government that still stays with us. We were naive before both of those things, and while that's not ideal when deciding who to vote for, it does make watching sports much more fun. Doug, that is from Chris Clemmer of Barstool Sports.
Clumsy. Well, he is right about one thing, is that the players have such a history of cheating that that they've kind of made their own bed. It seems like that's an article that should have been written in the mid to late 90s when people really were looking the other way. Now they test frequently, don't they?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, the steroid era isn't Watergate. It saved baseball. I don't know how many times you have to look at the ratings before Sammy Sosa, McGuire, and the boys started raking. And I know steroids were in the league before that. And most of those products were not illegal for players to use at the time. Certainly they changed those rules and then, caught a couple players cheating. But I cannot stand when they drag the 90s and 2000s players who saved baseball and are the people making $300 million contract can thank Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, PEDs, Roger Clemens, because they absolutely resuscitated what was a super boring and depleting game. So I respect the steroid era.
I said it on Facebook, and I'll say it here. It's just I lose more respect for Barstool every day. I mean, this article, the guy goes out of his way to say, I'm not accusing him. The whole article is on you saying, how does he have 14 home runs? You're basically saying that's what he's doing. And then trying to cover yourself. I'm not saying unless there's proof. Your whole article is about how does he have 14 home runs after having 3 the first half of the season. It's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff happens frequently. And you are talking about one of the greatest hitters in the history of the game. It's not like he's got 60 home runs this year. He's got 14.
Yeah, it's just a hack.
The last one just barely sneaked over the right field wall in one of the biggest hitters' parks in the country. I don't know that anything looked terribly suspicious about it.
Riggs, friend of the show, tweeted at his cohort at Barstool, "Your entire existence feels fishy, Chris Clemmer."
Yeah, good for Riggs. I mean, it's just sad.
Yeah.
And he just poo-poo greenies. Like, those are hand-eye coordination, like, money machines. I mean, it's not PEDs.
Have you ever taken a greenie?
No, there's books describing players that take them, and it seems like it's kind of like speed, I guess it would be, which certainly increases hand-eye coordination. So I am so sick and tired of people lambasting the steroid era. And Albert Pujols, what does he have to gain from doing this at 42?
Yeah, nothing.
There's
That's
absolutely
the big question.
zero gain,
Yeah.
so why even write the article?
Yeah, to ruin his legacy at this point would really be stupid. He's smarter
Ridiculous,
than that.
yeah. Now, his third or fourth year in the Angels, I would be way more understanding of it because you're, in the midst of a, $250+ million contract on a team that's below 500.
The steroid era was still unfair to a lot of people who didn't want to take steroids.
I wouldn't disagree, Doug.
Yeah, Jeter talked about that in the ESPN, The Captain, that whatever it was, 5 or 6 part series on the whole thing.
But he also,
it's fun to watch him hit the ball 500 feet, but it was still, it was not right.
So I was in school and you were covering it, Doug. The thing about the media being complicit in that, I feel like that's a semblance of revisionist history. I'm asking, it's kind of like I said yesterday on the podcast. I laid out these scenarios, not having to do with sports, and I said, if you could, please tell me how you see it differently. Email me, and so I'm truly looking for it here. And you're really the only one who can speak to it because you were in the clubhouse. I don't know what the media could have done differently at that time.
No, we didn't even think about it.
But even now, what could you do if you were like, I wonder what's going on?
I don't know.
Are you going to ask a question? You think Albert's going to go, or whoever else would be on something, or if the balls were juiced, or if a bat was corked?
Yeah.
Well, yes, thank you for asking. Now that I can, it's just not you're not going to get it.
It seems to me the first hint of this was when one of the reporters saw a bottle of androstenedione in McGuire's
and that was
locker.
in September of '98.
Which may be an invasion of privacy to look in somebody's locker and then report what kind of medicine he's taking, which it is. But that's really kind of when it started, and people looked into that and said, what exactly is that? And then they realized, oh, wait, you're not supposed to be doing that. But, yeah, I don't think it was necessarily the media's role to flush out what medicine people are putting in their bodies.
Right.
We're not supposed to know.
I don't get that. I feel like you can, like, when you blame media or society or both sides, I feel like that's a way to get yourself some likes, but what are you actually really saying? And as somebody who is, in a way, lived in quote-unquote covering stories in television, I understand asking the question, but of what can the media do, but I'm telling you as somebody who's done it, and Doug, you've certainly done it at a longer period of time, and you were there in '98. I don't know what realistically could have been done. Like, if we really try to apply, well, the media was complicit. Well, what did the media do?
Yeah, we certainly didn't know.
Right. So I don't know what the media, it just wasn't something that crossed the vast majority of people's minds at the time. Now, if you want to go and revise history, sure. If you want to apply it to politics and Watergate, well, why were there only 2 reporters on top of Watergate? But they were tipped off. And then, so if somebody was tipped off, and then you don't cover it, then you're complicit.
But you still don't have access to the training rooms. The trainer's not going to tell you how he's treating people or what somebody's health is. You do still have the right to medical privacy in this country, even as a baseball player. So, yeah, it was an extremely difficult thing to cover. And as I remember, nobody gave it a second thought. There wasn't rumors about it. There wasn't snickers behind the scenes or anything. Everyone just thought that these guys were into big-time weight training, and they were big guys anyway, and now they're huge guys. I mean, McGuire hit 49 his rookie year without as skinny as a rail.
Skinny guy, in 86 or 7.
Yeah, so the fact that he might someday hit another, 13 beyond that, 11?
Judge is likely to finish in the 55 to 60 range this year. He hit 50
I guess 21 more he would have hit after bulking up, but it didn't seem like it was impossible.
But if you recall, and I do recall this because I was, again, just about to enter the business. I was a senior at Missouri, I guess junior at Missouri, when we went down to spring training in '98, and there was talk before the season, as weird as it is, about McGuire or Griffey, not Sosa. Nobody even really talked about it. I think Sammy Sosa was on the periphery of baseball, really, at the time. He was known as a stolen base guy. He was a 30-30 guy.
Very skinny himself when he first came up.
And it was Griffey and McGuire, and part of the reason was you had gotten some smaller ballparks. Colorado was now involved. Granted, they'd been around for a few years, but Coors Field was relatively new, if I'm not mistaken, because I think they started at Mile High Stadium, and I think Coors was opened by '98. I could be off on that. But there were smaller ballparks, Camden Yards certainly being an example, and then you had 2 expansion franchises coming in. Yeah. And so the thought process was that the pitching would be spread out, and also there were big power numbers in '97, and it was trending this way. But people weren't talking about steroids. Now, listen, if somebody was tipped off and didn't cover it, that's a different set of circumstances. But as far as, let's say you're Doug Vaughn or whomever, Martin Kilcoyne, and you're in the clubhouse in 1998, I don't, or now, if you want to kind of make the accusation but not make it fully, I'd be curious what this gentleman or what listeners who would like people to ask questions about, what people would want. Realistically, what people would want.
Yeah.
We contact the Cardinals. Do you have a statement on Albert Pujols and performance-enhancing drugs? I mean, just think about that. Let's play it out. How do you think that's going to go? You walk up to Albert and ask him?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that's going to go? Walk up to Yadier Molina, who's known him forever? How do you think that's going to go?
Not great. Not great. About the only way it could happen is if some anonymous source within the team told you it was going on.
That's exactly right. That's it.
That'd
or a
be the only way.
trainer,
or
who was on a kamikaze mission for their career.
Yeah, a disgruntled teammate or something.
And I mean, who got the whole thing going? I happened to be listening to the interview live. I don't know why or how.
Saga, wasn't it?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And he is persona non grata. Now he is a punchline, like fighting, amateur fights.
Yeah.
But he was so pissed off in this interview. It was on Dan Patrick or Jim Rome. I feel like I know I was listening. And then he wrote the book. And initially it was dismissed. And then you had the congressional hearings. And you had Palmero, pointing his finger at Congress. And, hey, shame on me. I believed him. You had Sosa suddenly unable to speak English, even though I had interviewed the man. I had interviewed the man multiple times. He was always like super friendly.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I would do
great guy.
one-on-one interviews with him. McGuire.
No speaking English.
It was something else, you know. And I think, you know, I'm sure they're trying to protect themselves, but I think one of the elements of this is that so many people, not everybody, but so many people were doing it, both pitchers and hitters, by the way. The pitcher part, I feel like, is forgotten in this. The pitchers, that they weren't going to be the guy. Like, one of the worst things you can do is be a narc, be a rat. And so they're going to just fall on the sword because they knew what was going on. I remember there was one time we were out with a Cardinal player, and I don't remember who. I remember who the player was. I think producer Joe might have been with me. I can't believe we would have talked like this because it was kind of, I don't know. But somehow the topic of performance-enhancing drugs came up, and this is a while ago. And the guy goes, "Man, you got to understand, damn near everybody was doing it, or is doing it, or was, I guess probably was, because he wouldn't have said is." It was just like, yeah, it's just, and Edmonds, I can specifically recall multiple times out of nowhere one time, and I was still living, you know, in my condominium, so this is a long time ago. Out of nowhere one time texting me, and he is furious about people being all over McGuire, and he goes, "What people don't understand is so many people were doing it." He goes, "I didn't do it because I made my money with defense. And my belief was the guys who would mess around with those things, they got slow and they got hurt. And so it would get to a point where I wouldn't be able to make my plays. I wouldn't be able to play Gold Glove center field." But he goes, the guys that got a lot of the attention were the guys who were hitting all the big power numbers. But it was the guys who were littler guys who all of a sudden became big guys.
Lenny Dykstra was one.
That
Remember how he blew up?
Yeah, that were the ones that, you know, internally in the clubhouse, they would be like, "Yeah, that guy's got to be on something." But it was one of those things that you kind of understood was going on, but you just it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
As weird as that might sound. Now, what matters when you're talking about records? Well, yeah. Because one of the things that binds generations of baseball fans and the game itself is comparing and contrasting. Man, Babe Ruth hit this many home runs. Now Henry Aaron is going to break that record. And so when you talk about, there's a column this morning in the New York Post about what is the real home run record. Aaron Judge could, it's going to take a hell of a run, but he could theoretically hit more home runs than Roger Maris did this year. It's going to take a run, but he's at 50. Does that make him the home run king? Do you view McGuire as the home run king? I doubt many people do, because he's second to Bonds anyway, and then you would add in the performance-enhancing acknowledgments, or do people recognize 73 as the home run? But that's the point, is that the numbers that were so significant are, you know, out of whack in large part because of the 1990s and the 2000s.
I think a lot of people have lost interest in that record now. You just go, I don't know.
It captured the country in 98.
Yeah.
It wasn't just St. Louis
Right.
and
It's
Chicago.
clear that Bonds was doing something, so you think, well, it's not him. I don't know. I guess it's Aaron. Does it matter anymore? They cheat. I think that's what a lot of people think.
Bonds is the home run king. I mean, until baseball takes it off.
Yeah, they let him keep playing. So he's it. But I think that lessened the luster of the record.
Yes. Yeah. That was a huge deal.
Yeah.
It was a huge deal.
And now it
in
doesn't seem to
1988.
mean much anymore.
Oh, even before that, it was a huge deal. Because they talked about Maris with the asterisk because he had more games than Babe Ruth, and didn't want to put him in the record books because we can't take that record away from Ruth. So it was a big deal. And now it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. It was a big deal pre-Maris.
Yeah.
That was the. Who was the commissioner who put the asterisk on the Maris number?
Was it Happy Chandler?
Ford Frick.
I don't know.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was Ford Frick.
It
But
could
I
have
thought
been.
that was the broadcaster award. And I was thinking, is he a broadcaster? But no, he's a commissioner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know, for the people that say, we knew what was going on, the media guys, we should have said something. And you didn't know anything was going on.
No.
If that was the case, then you'd have brought something up when Brady Anderson, who never hit more than 10 home runs in his in a year had 50 one year. Nobody said anything. But he's on steroids. Nobody said anything.
And the games were so exciting.
That's why, Doug.
Yeah, he get caught up in the games. My God, he hit 2 more.
Again, bring back steroids, please. It's just, it was a more exciting time in baseball.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the pitchers were doing it too, though. A lot of them had to be.
Yeah, and that's
so they were getting stronger. Also,
that's a part of the conversation that is lost in this. But again, I also want to emphasize that doesn't mean that everybody was.
No.
And guys like Jeter, for example, who did look quite similar to how he looked in '96, and he was a skinny guy coming up. I mean, that was one of the things that when he arrived in St. Pete at Yankees camp, they're like, who is this guy? He's the number one, or he's a first-round pick, and he looks like a, God, I wonder if he weighed 170 pounds. He's like, yeah, it bothers me when people say everybody was doing it because everybody wasn't doing it. And he feels like then his numbers are tarnished because he played in the steroid era.
I'll tell you what, though, he won a lot of World Series champions. And this is nothing against Derek Jeter by any means, and it wasn't his fault. But he had a lot of steroid users on his World Series winning teams. I mean,
but then when you agree that that team was going up against steroid users?
100%, yeah, and I'm not, yeah. So, but I don't want him to. I don't like when people say, well, his numbers, yeah, his personal number, but his World Series rings may have been cut in half if he didn't have, Pettit, Clemens, and, Jambi and those boys.
It could have been.
A-Rod.
Yeah.
So.
But if everybody was using it, then everybody was competing, quote unquote, on the level playing field.
Yep.
Again, the playing field being lifted up across the game. The thing was that everybody wasn't doing it, but in his position is sure the majority were.
When you look back at videos of the 1980s, those teams, the players look like stick figures.
Oh my God!
They look like high school players compared to what's going on now.
Yep.
Speed was the thing back then.
And then the other element of it is
speed is in running speed, not the drug.
Correct. Which we did reference earlier with Greenies.
Yeah.
And I recall talking about somebody who never made it to the major leagues, but having this conversation with him one time. He goes, the thing is, and Andy Van Slyke was really critical of the whole thing. He goes, but at the same time, if I were playing and I wasn't going to get in, but I knew everybody else was doing it, and I wasn't going to make the major leagues, I would have done it.
Sure.
So that's the thing for the guys who are they are living their lives to get to the major leagues, and they're going, well, crap, those guys are doing it. Now guys that I'm competing with in AAA or AA are doing it, then the guys below them at A-ball are doing it. And so I either have the choice to make it and do it or not. And so you have that element of it. I was reading a story yesterday on SEAL team training and Hell Week. And a Yale graduate passed away earlier this year from running that course, running a course in California. Upon him passing, they started removing things from his room and his locker and discovered performance-enhancing drugs. And then there was an investigation. Then it turned out that 40 SEALs who went through that were using them. And the thought process was, there's no way to survive it because it's so brutal. I think somewhere in between 11 and 25% now actually pass it. This guy did get through it, but the first time he tried it, he didn't last one day. And so then the thought process among the guys trying to make it were, we got to do it. And then if we don't do it, now the numbers are tougher because we are up against guys who are doing it. So you can apply it to the mindset in baseball. And I would gather that it's going on still in sports. It's just gotten tougher to detect. I think it would be naive to think everything is super clean.
Do we care if Navy SEALs are on steroids? I'd say if you're going to do that, you take whatever you want.
Right? Like, I'll send in a care package to you if you need.
If it's going to help you stay alive, yeah, and defend the country, sure.
But, I mean, look at guys now that test positive. Nobody holds themselves accountable. I mean, the Fernando Tatis thing is kind of funny. Like, his dad said it was one thing, and then Fernando said it was because of alopecia or something. I forgot what it was. Like, ringworm. Thank you. I mean,
the
nobody
excuses they come up with are pretty incredible.
Nobody has the balls to just be like, just trying to have a good year. And for him, it was just the quick recovery, and that's what a lot of steroid users allocate that drug is like you recover from injuries a lot quicker, you're out a lot less. I mean, that certainly is monetary value there as well.
Your thoughts are welcome. Engineer Design Facilities. Text inbox 314-881-TMA5. You can call into the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines. Jamie Rivers did to a Pro Jiggy around this time in the Munganess 7 o'clock hour. Doug, who's going to call in to accost us now?
I guess Pujols.
Yeah, you would think.
Maybe Barrett.
You think Barrett will?
Yeah, we kind of just trashed him. Maybe
He ain't got the ball to do that.
636-9004 TMA. That's the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. And email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email today. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. It's our appliance discounters 8 o'clock hour. Your hometown appliance source featuring major brands like GE. We are 3 weeks away from the Lemmings Open. How do you do? 3 weeks on Friday. And you will be able to, for those of you who signed up, it is sold out, but for those of you who signed up, you are going to get Donut Drive-In upon your arrival. Oh, Bill, Donut Drive-In. For over 60 years, Donut Drive-In has been serving its loyal fans some of St. Louis's most beloved classic donuts: apple fritters, cinnamon rolls, custard-filled, jelly-filled, Long John's glazed, and much, much more. Over 50 different varieties, hand-cut, made on site, and unchanged recipes for decades. Stop in, browse the display case, and pick your favorites, or visit them online at donutdrivein.com to place an advanced pre-order. That's donutdrivein.com. Donut Drive-In at Watson and Chippewa in South City. All occasions, all varieties. Donut Drive-In, always. Think about that.
Apple fritters, please.
That's what you would like.
Love apple fritters.
Do you?
Theirs are the best.
How about bear claws, 2 at a time?
Dude, I get this cinnamon roll thing there. Absolutely
that
fire.
cinnamon thing is the bee's knees, Bill.
And cinnamon's supposed to be good for you, too, isn't it?
Yeah, and I like Donut Drive-In because you can order in advance, and they have a little hut, like basically adjacent to the store that you can pick up, so you don't have to wait in the line for people with their kiddo going in. Love that place.
Disagree completely, plow fool. Scott Brocious, Posada, Williams O'Neill, all doing steroids. That was the Yankee dynasty. Bad take. That's from Harrison's brother Master, and he's not happy with the Plowhawk.
Well, for one, we have no idea who did and didn't do them in that era anyway, so it's just you clump everybody in it, and I know that's not great, but you did have Pettit and Clemens on the mound, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, you had Giambi there at certainly a different era, but still, I said half of the rings. You still may have won them in the early 90s, but the mid to late 90s teams were littered, just like every other team was in Major League Baseball.
There's really no criteria when you especially if you're looking at the Hall of Fame. I mean, Clemens technically never tested positive for steroids. The whole Balco thing came out. But at the same time, Ortiz came out in a New York Post article that 100 players tested positive in 2003 before they had the testing, and he went in on the first ballot.
It's how you treat media members.
Ortiz got just a complete free pass.
Yeah. Because he's on TV, he was very nice to the media. You could do whatever you want if you give the media 5 or 10 minute sound bites every week. You are gold. You're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You can't have your personal free time or media thinks, you're an ass and you're vilified, and then you'll never reach 25%. It is crazy that they let media members vote for that thing. It still absolutely amazes me. The guys who hold grudges more than any other profession it's unbelievable.
And they're not even in the business.
They're so petty.
Shouldn't that be like a blue ribbon panel of experts, maybe of current Hall of Famers voting who gets in?
Absolutely.
People at least played or GMs or managers.
Doug Stephen Wildwood wants to talk about it, so it's perfect timing.
Okay.
He's on the Steve Schmidt of North County phone lines. Hello, Stephen Wildwood.
Okay, stop yelling at us.
Doug, what's going on?
Oh, no, not much. What's up with you?
Not too much. I haven't seen you on the TV. What are you doing? Behind the scenes stuff there? Or what?
No, I'm here. I haven't been back at Channel 4.
I'm hoping that you're doing a live shot when outside the stadium when Albert hits 700. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I'll be outside in right field. No, I
There's
think
been
people
so
see
many
enough of me.
So many spectacular milestones that happen while you're standing outside the stadium.
No, I don't like that idea.
Yeah, I hear you. Come watch it with me, Doug.
Well, yeah, I looked up there the other night when I was at the game, and I thought, I bet you're up there watching, looking down, sitting around in the pool. It looks like a pretty nice spot.
I hear you, Dougie. You got to get down there.
All right.
But I think Jackson edited one of my mic drops. I didn't get to hear it played. I've been a little lacking lately, but I did send one where I don't know if it was he did it because it was bad or not. I said that Pujols, of course he's happy he was married and had 5 kids in California. In St. Louis, he's single, living by himself, and he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Oh, you think that's it, huh? Think that's the reason for the resurgence?
Well, that's why he's happy. I don't know about the resurgence.
Yeah, I'm sure he's hanging out at the wheelhouse every night.
He's at Wheelhouse getting bottle service?
No, at his age, he's probably just by himself in his apartment, and that's the best feeling ever.
Watching House of the Dragons by himself.
I wonder if he'd get any attention if he rolled up to Bar Napoli on the patio out there.
No, not at all. Not at all. But no, it's these Cardinals. I kind of like them.
Well, you should. They're 6 games up in their division. They just had a great month.
There's a huge turnaround. It's been awesome. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
But
nice take.
We got the Cubbies this weekend. I think he's going to get 700 too, Doug. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I kind of think he will.
Yeah,
I think
if you had to bet $100, wouldn't you say he's going to get it?
I would say he will.
Especially as a fan, you want him to see it, so you certainly take that bet and just let it ride.
Although now he needs 6 home runs in a month, and that's pretty tough.
They're
That's
playing
an average.
so many butt asses, though.
They are, but that'd be
given
what,
up.
36 home runs in a year. I'm not sure he'd had that in him.
But gee, Albert does so much research and everything. Do you think moving back over to the National League and then getting used to the pitching, it took him that long to get used to the pitching and timing and everything?
No.
Okay.
No, I just think he's playing more. They're starting to play him against right-handers now.
Yeah,
So.
and players get hot, they get cold, they get hot. That's how it works.
Hey, Doug, I'd like to book a sound story, and now you're going on location, so I'd like to do it laying in my bed. Is that okay?
Doug,
sure.
That's up to you. So you will lay in bed with Stephen
No,
Wildwood?
I won't be in bed. I'll be at the side of the bed. I'll be on the Davenport. You can be in bed, and we'll get you mic'd
This
up.
is as close to going private as you can get on this show right there as a
Private
sound
on
story.
location.
Doug, the business model has just been altered.
Sure, we can do that.
I guess Learn won't do that one, but
No.
No, you would though, Doug, right?
Sure, I'd do it. Yeah.
For sure.
Just got this
What else is
text,
going on,
Stephen
guys?
Wildwood, from Scissor Me Timbers. Steve's mic drops on Balloon Party are akin to Pat McAfee reporting on the XFL sidelines. Undervalued and highly entertaining. So there's another endorsement for your mic drops.
Yeah, they're really ruining my mic drops though with all these winning. You know, it's kind of hard to find the negatives.
Well,
But
do you want to take
one.
it? I mean, Missouri opens up tomorrow, and season ticket sales are down, and you can take the approach that this team is going to make a run at Alabama and Georgia this year, and fans need to support
Well,
them.
they would sell out if you could get a damn hotel room for under $500 a night down there.
It is tough, isn't it? They sell out
You
so
got-
damn quick, man.
Yeah.
I guess you got to book for next year right now. Just book every date, every weekend in the fall, and then cancel it once they do the schedule. I guess
Well,
that's how you do it.
well.
I don't know. It's just
A lot of people
crazy.
Airbnb. That's a move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into that. But I like staying at that hotel on Broadway there. You know who stays there?
Who?
Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly.
Oh.
Tiger Mike
He's
Kelly.
always there. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
I
that
love
is a great hotel right there on Broadway.
I hear you. But, yeah, it seems like I think the Tigers are going to get 7 wins. I'm going 7.
Ooh.
7.
Ooh.
Fight
I like
Tiger
that,
Plowhawk. It
Steve.
doesn't sound like you believe it.
Good
I
luck.
wish Drew Lock was still there because then he'd just throw it as far as he can and Luther'd run right under it.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
would have been a
they
good
do.
combination.
I mean, I would just call a go route 5 times a game, see what happens.
Yeah.
You might do that.
Once a
Brady-
possession.
Yeah.
Brady Cook might be the worst deep ball thrower in the SEC right now. He's great, super accurate, and
Yeah.
What are you basing that off of?
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure his passing percentage from like 15 yards out is pretty terrible. But hey, I mean, he's super consistent with short routes, which is fine.
Hey, Jamie Rivers, go in there and beat up Plowsy. Okay?
He's on his way.
Bring it on, Elia.
On his way.
Hey, you want a rematch tomorrow? We're playing at 12:30. We got an opening. If you want to play, I'll give you 3 pops aside.
Wow.
What was that?
I think he
So
fell out of his...
I'm out. I'm out. Is there a golf? You want to meet me in Herman somewhere? Is there a golf course out there?
No, just wineries.
Yeah, it'd be fun. No, I can't this week. Maybe next week or the week after.
All right, buddy.
I'll play it again. What the hell?
Just let me know.
I have fun. I enjoy it. But is Cletus will be there too?
Yeah, I always let him book the tea time.
actually played Hawthorne over at Forest Park yesterday at 4 o'clock, and I got done in like an hour and 45 minutes.
Nice.
Wow, that's nice.
Which was crazy. I could not believe it. I didn't wait on any people.
We got a phone connection.
Well, we lost
situation
him.
here,
We
Doug.
lost him. All right.
Has anybody seen my nurse?
Well, we lost him.
Great call nonetheless.
Yeah.
How are ticket sales down?
For who?
Mizzou.
Yeah, the Matter wrote a story a couple weeks ago about ticket sales being down.
I feel like the resurgence of
I feel like there
new
hadn't been much
blood.
buzz. There hadn't been a whole lot of buzz this year.
I'm not saying it's a 7-win team like Steve is, but if there's a time to get on the bandwagon, it might be now, because they could be good in a couple of years. I'm just surprised that.
So why go see him now? Wait a couple years.
Well, it's SEC football. It's just weird.
Well, they don't have a quarterback that excites people yet.
And
they lost their big running back. I know they have a big recruit in Luther Burden and all, but nobody's seen him done anything yet.
If they can jump out to, and it's not impossible. I don't know how likely it is, but it is possible if they can jump out with wins over Louisiana Tech, K-State, and Abilene Christian. Then no matter what, you're 3-1 going into Georgia, and that, But if you're 2-2 going into Georgia, and then you have trips to Gainesville, and you still have Kentucky and Tennessee and South Carolina and Arkansas, the thing can get off the tracks pretty quickly. And that's been the problem for Missouri football, and this predates Drinkwitz, is they just haven't been able to survive September without a disappointment. I mean, hell, they opened up the season with a loss at Wyoming. There was a September in 2017 where they got blown off the field by Auburn. And Barry Odom, that's when he lost his mind.
Yeah.
That's when he was screaming, "It's a turnaround."
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's like he got in an argument with the message boards at the podium.
Yeah.
Never get in an argument with the message boards at the podium.
He never got it back either.
Nope. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It's the truth is, I don't want to say it's the truth. For me individually, because I can't speak for everybody else, but you just don't know until you see teams. I mean, these are college kids, and a lot of people focus on what teams were last year, but there is such a huge new element to evaluating a college football team, and that's the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a different part of the game now.
Yeah.
It was interesting this past weekend, if you wanted to look for gambling trends, that the teams that had a lot of players transfer out, Wyoming, Plowhawk, you were talking about that for your Illini. Yeah. Hawaii was one of those teams. They got stopped. And, that's Hawaii getting stopped by Vanderbilt. And that's Wyoming getting stopped by Illinois.
I think Wyoming lost their best passer, their best pass catcher, the best rusher, and I think the best defender. In the
Well, that's who it's going to be, yeah.
Immediately, they lost basically their entire team.
Mediocre players aren't going to get a lot of attention from much better programs. It's the best players from that second-tier level school they're going to get the offers.
Yeah, so they were out. I mean, and when you're looking for a transfer portal quarterback 2 weeks before the season starts on Twitter, you might have a tough year ahead of you. And that sucks. Nothing they can do about, the players were too good for the program. They outgrew the program.
Can you buy booze inside the stadium?
Yes.
Yes, that's a huge part of it.
SEC, you can.
See, so I don't know the difference, because I just remember when I was going, because I was dating someone who went to school there, and we went to almost every game, but we'd get up at like 8 o'clock, have Bloody Mary parties, tailgate, go to the game, enjoy ourselves. We didn't care if they won or if they were any good.
Yeah.
Oh, the tailgating will not suffer in the slightest.
But we still went to the game. We still went into the stadium.
The kids don't go like they used to.
I rarely went to games because we start tailgating at 8 in the morning, and you're pretty drunk. You don't want to sit in the sun for 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. My son was the same way. Huge sports fan, big fan of the team, but could care less if he went to the game. It was all about the party.
We would watch
outside
the game.
stadium.
We'd watch the game and just keep partying, and it was more fun and more enjoyable. And it's not like there were some games that you definitely want to be at, Georgia being the main one. But outside of that, I'm not really interested in sitting for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
To watch them play like a middle in Kentucky.
And the east side of the stadium there gets that afternoon sun right in your face, and the games last 4 hours, and the games are in September, a lot of, in October, and it can be really warm there.
Yeah, or freezing cold.
At the end of the year, you're freezing.
Yeah, so I love Mizzou football, and it's not like I wasn't supporting the Gers, but not necessarily going to the game. Mizzou basketball went to every game. Different story.
Well, and you were about alone there, probably.
Yeah.
Not in 2017 and 18, but then, yes, after that, I was very much few and the proud.
Yeah, that's really sad what's happened to the basketball program. Really, really sad.
We'll open the floodgates.
Here they come, Doug.
No,
Fight,
I hope.
Tiger.
I hope.
Doug couldn't have had a worse time with his headset.
I really struggled with this. It's the second one I think I've broken. All right. I can hear you, though. Well, even this game Thursday night, it's nice that it's on a Thursday night. We'll be able to watch it, but there'll be a lot of people in St. Louis and Kansas City that are going to say, I'm not going. I got to work tomorrow.
Right.
Won't get back till 1, 2 in the morning.
Who we playing? Oh.
Louisiana Tech.
But-
Yeah, it'll probably be a smallish crowd, I would think.
You got Monday off, most people, for Labor Day. You take the 4-day weekend. You take Friday off, you do a little 4-day weekend. That might be what some people do.
Some, probably not a lot.
Not
Not by the tens of thousands, anyway.
Right. When I was at Mizzou, we never had a Thursday night game.
That would be fun to go to a weekday night football
Right.
game if I'm a student.
Well, I'm thinking from like a tailgame perspective. Like you get done with class at 2 or 3, and then you just start.
Oh, the students
getting
won't
hammered.
mind blowing off class on
That'll
Friday.
be
That was
fun
never
as-
a problem
yeah.
for
Frank said
anybody
it.
anyway.
Frank
It's
said
just they get thousands of fans from St. Louis and Kansas City every time they play, and I would imagine that's going to be way down on a Thursday night. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am. But I know a lot of people were thinking, well, yeah, I'd go, but I got to work tomorrow, and I don't want to drive home at 1 in the morning.
But I just don't get that because a lot of, I wouldn't say Mizzou is, they're higher tier than some of the other teams I'm talking about, but they always, when you turn on a Saturday 11 a.m. kickoff, most stadiums seem to be pretty packed.
Yeah.
Regardless of the team. Is it just Mizzou? Is it
I
a
wouldn't say
location
it.
of? I'm not saying all games are super packed.
Maybe like some of like the pride of the SEC, but like Wisconsin is a big one where like students don't start showing up until like the middle of the first half or even into the
True.
second half.
For
That's
whatever
a huge
reason,
football program.
For whatever reason, we're just not a real big football area. We just aren't.
But is it the location of where Columbia is in comparison to where Kansas City, St. Louis is in terms of getting those?
I don't know. There's a lot of small town in colleges, state colleges, small cities, and they put 80,000 people in the stands. We just don't like it as much as some other areas in the country. We don't.
I don't know if there are many schools that are 4+ hours away from 2 metropolitan areas
They're
on
2
each
hours.
side of them.
2 hours.
2
not
hours from
4.
Kansas City, but from Columbia from here is more than 2 hours.
Barely
Less,
2 hours.
less than 2 hours.
Is
If
it
you drive
really?
fast, you
It's
can get there in
100
an hour 45, hour 50.
I guess I'm
120
thinking,
miles.
Yeah, that's weird. Why isn't there more people at the game?
Because we just don't like it as much as some other areas.
I don't know if that's the case.
Oh, football is a religion in certain parts of the South. It just isn't here.
Maybe when
It is in Kansas City. They love the Chiefs there, but Mizzou has never really been a place where, gosh, it's going to sell out every game. We better get our tickets early. It's been years since that
Maybe
was
it's a
the case.
chicken and the egg thing about winning because I don't know. I was in high school and college at the time of the Chase Daniel, kind of Mizzou 2 or 3 year run there. They would sell out, right?
Yeah,
I mean, teams like that.
if the team is a national title contender, it's a different thing. But on a season when if you only win 7 or 8 games, you can count on there being fairly small crowds compared to other SEC teams.
I'm surprised.
The numbers, by the way, on the season tickets. 2 weeks before the start, this is when the article came out, 2 weeks before the start of the season, it starts tomorrow now. Missouri's non-student season ticket sales have already exceeded last year's totals, but are overall lagging behind recent season figures. As of August 10th, Mizzou had sold 18,589 non-student season ticket packages and 5,071 student season ticket packages for a total of 23,660. That's according to the university figures submitted to the Post-Dispatch through an open records request. Last season, Mizzou sold 18,247 non-student season ticket packages and 7,108 student packages.
Oh, that's a big drop in students.
Yeah, the students is where the number changed. That's a significant percentage for a total of 23,355. Even though they have reduced the size of the stadium to 61,620, Missouri didn't draw 50,000 for a single home game last year and has announced only one home sellout since Gary Pinkel's last season in 2015. The only sellout over the last 6 years came in 2019 when Missouri hosted Ole Miss for homecoming. There you go. Their crowds averaged 46,516 last season, which ranked 13th in the SEC, ahead of only Vanderbilt, and number 41 among all FBS programs.
Yeah. That's nearly half what they get at some places.
Yeah.
Yeah. For whatever reason it is, we're just not a huge college football area.
And I still believe it can be. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think
There's no
guys
reason
like
why it
Luther
couldn't.
Burden can
Yeah.
do it. I mean, it's guys like that can program change things.
It's going to take lots of Luther Burden.
Well, I said it's a guy like that. You need guys like that, but you need that first domino to drop in terms of five-star superstar athlete in the area deciding to come to Mizzou. It doesn't happen often.
It's a great start, but the way the rules are now, how do we know that Luther Burden's going to have a great year and then wind up on Alabama's team next year? You need lots of Luther Burdens. You need sustained winning.
Yeah,
winning is winning gets you out of the 11 o'clock time slot. And I know that this for hardcore Missouri fans, this is a hypersensitive topic because it's like, well, you still go anyway at 11 o'clock. But for a lot of people, if you're going to drive 2 hours, especially if you're not that into the team, male or female, doesn't matter, you want it to be just not sitting in a football stadium to watch a game. Is for me, I love it. I don't care that it's 4 hours because I love it. But if you're a casual fan, you want to be able to tailgate. And if the game starts at 11 o'clock and you live in Kansas City or St. Louis, that means you're getting up at around 6, probably about the latest. Let's say you're able to get ready and you leave at 7, and then you get there around 9, and then you have 2 hours of tailgating. Well, that's not the way people want to spend Saturdays. And Missouri and Georgia, for the most part, have been 11 o'clock starts, if memory serves, in Columbia, not in Athens. And that makes it tough. And also, because they have had a bad loss in September over the last few years, that kills the excitement. So if you were able to beat K-State and create some momentum, unfortunately, the next game is Abilene Christian, so you won't see it necessarily carry over. But man, if it's what percentage would I put it at that they're 4-0 after K-State and Auburn? I don't know, 15%. But if that somehow can happen, I'd be shocked if Georgia and Missouri is at 11 o'clock, and then you have people paying attention. It's just the way that it is. Winning is what creates a program. I don't think people complaining about a lack of interest in 2007 or 2008 and 2013 and 2014. But scolding fans as if they owe it to tell people how to spend their money, especially when a lot of people have zero ties to the University of Missouri around here, as weird as it sounds. Because for more people, they're interested in the Cardinals and the Blues, and when the Rams are here, the Rams. You have a lot of people in this area who either went to Illinois, St. Louis University, didn't go to college, don't like college sports, but if you win, they will come. That's the deal. And then it can become part of the football, the sports landscape, Missouri college football. The problem for Missouri is they had what I would say one of their most damaging seasons in so many different ways immediately following back-to-back appearances in the SEC championship, and that was 2015. And then Pinkel's gone, and Odom comes in, and it hasn't been the same since.
No.
But Eli Drinkwitz, from my standpoint, needs 4 years no matter what, and see what he can do with these recruiting classes he's been able to bring in. And you can't turn the Missouri coaching job into a Tennessee Volunteers turnstile.
What do you think they do? Because this is his third year, right? Say he has a bad year. Say he goes 4-7, 4-8, however many games they play. Well, obviously, he can't go into next year as a lame duck coach with no contract. So you have to do one of two things. Let him go or give him an extension. Can you give him an extension after a 4-8 season and 2 mediocre years before that? Isn't that kind of a dilemma?
I don't know. I mean, guys get extensions and whacked all the time, so I don't see it. I don't see that as an obstacle. And I'd be shocked if he lost his job this year. Not that I know that's not what you're asking, but I'd just be shocked. And I think a lot of that has to do with seeing programs go through coaches so quickly and then how it turns into. And then also, with Missouri being what it currently is, you can't send a message to the rest of the college football coaches that if you don't win within 3 years, even if you have great recruiting classes, you're gone.
Yeah.
But they should have 4 games that they know they're going to win. And then it's a matter of these 6 toss-up games if you can win 2 of those. The toss-up games, by the way, being K-State, Auburn, Arkansas, South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, And I don't know if you view Florida as a toss-up game. Some people, I think, probably view Florida more as a toss-up game than Kentucky, actually. But Kentucky's in Columbia, Florida's in Gainesville.
Right.
So, depending on how much you put on that. But it's a process, and that's I remember when I would interview him right when he came, he always talked about the program. Well, the program is not about a team. The program is about a process. And the program is something you build and you commit to it. But if this were if Pinkel came along in 2022, I don't know if he would have gotten to stay to get to 2007. Because coaches get chewed up, and he had his first season was 2001. You have to give a coach some latitude. And by the way, they're already 13th out of 14 in attendance anyway. What are you going to lose by giving them another year?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if you're losing to Louisiana Tech and you're pulling out tight games over Abilene Christian or New Mexico State, Vanderbilt, that's a different deal. To me, it's not just about wins and losses. It's about how the games go. I mean, I don't think anybody's sitting here going, I think Missouri can beat Georgia, at least at this moment. But, if Missouri's getting blown off the field by these teams, that's a different thing. And that's what we saw in the 1980s. I mean, there were names for the Norman Conquest when they would, was it 73-0 or 77-0?
Yeah. So.
It was just that bad.
That number of tickets for students is really disturbing. 5,000. I mean, you've watched other games on TV, and they get the crowd shots, and it looks like every damn kid in the school is there. Why that hasn't caught at Mizzou is hard to know. When I was there, everybody bought the football package. Everybody did. And now I guess they just don't care.
The schedule was a little different then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Saturday afternoon. And
No,
against better opponents, too.
That's what I was about to say. If you look at their schedule in the 1970s, it'd be like something you created on PlayStation.
Yeah. But it
USC and Alabama when they were part of the Big Eight.
I'm not sure that mattered as much as just the social element.
Sure.
It's just what everybody did.
Right, but
everybody did it.
But let me put it this way, Doug. What if Missouri were hosting Kansas State tomorrow night? And K-State's not some glamour program. It's a different thought process.
Everybody that I knew at that time would have gone to the game.
Thursday night.
That would have been what you did on Thursday
it's
night.
Louisiana Tech. Their second home game, Abilene Christian. So even if they do upset K-State, and it would be considered an upset, then the momentum is kind of like, okay, well, good, they're good. And isn't the Abilene Christian game already an 11 o'clock game, Jackson?
Yes.
It's already penciled in. I'm telling you, the start times matter.
Yeah.
If you're in Athens, and granted, Athens, you have the national champions, and Georgia's certainly more part of the culture there than Missouri is here. But Athens is, 45 minutes to an hour from Atlanta? And granted, a lot of the fans are going to come from South Georgia, but and so that's a commitment driving up the state.
Yeah.
But so much for a casual fan, if you're going to take the family, okay, we're going to wake the kids up at 6, or I'm going to go with my girlfriend, and we're going to get up at 6. And some people will do it, but the 11 o'clock thing matters. I don't know what the solution to that is. Outside of winning, but that's a tough thing to not be able to lock in games. But I understand when television networks are paying these huge sums of money, they don't want to get stuck and book, let's say, I don't know, LSU Auburn, which is normally a huge rivalry game, and they're both garbage, and going, oh, God, we got this locked in at 2:30, and Missouri has shocked the world, and they're playing Kentucky, and they're both undefeated, and we've got ESPNU has that at 11 o'clock. So they're going to continue to use these television windows to book games, and so fans, sometimes they don't decide 5 days out before the game. Sometimes they exercise it 5 games out before the game, 5 days out before the game.
Yeah, I wish Columbia was in, St. Charles.
That's, yeah.
Then I think they'd get 60,000 fans a game.
What's the enrollment at Mizzou?
I think it's 25-ish.
Yeah.
It got as high as 32, but then it came way back.
Yeah, my class was the smallest class in years. It's currently just under 30,000.
Oh, okay.
Guys I grew up with season tickets in the late 70s through the late 80s. Saw Alabama, Penn State, Notre Dame, Army, along with Nebraska and Oklahoma, and all games were 1:30 kickoffs, and it was fun. That's from friends of Bert Convey.
Now, if you go to a game like Abilene Christian, you're almost there thinking, am I going to be upset when I leave this? Are they going to lose? I expect them to win. Sure, they better win. If they do, it doesn't mean much. But if they lose, boy, I'm really going to be hacked off.
Well, if you were going to games in the 70s and 80s, just before cable TV, before networks, you didn't have to have an 11 o'clock game. Now you have to have one.
Well, they had TV back then.
Well,
I'm not sure they had 11
you didn't
o'clock
have
starts.
the SEC network. You didn't have
you're right.
ESPN with 5 different stations. I mean, somebody's got to play at 11 o'clock.
This is a good observation here. It's kind of an obvious one, but there's something to be said for it. Georgia, South Carolina, I think Knoxville, too. those 11 o'clock starts are actually noon because of East Coast time. That's a fun fact for now.
And that's a big difference.
Obviously,
11 a.m.
Gainesville. Yeah, if you're a college student
or
if you're traveling and you're a family, it matters. But that's one of those things that you get in this conversation with really hardcore Missouri fans. You know, like, you go anyway. You support the state. And I'm like, you may feel that way, and I respect that you do. But if you want to build enthusiasm across the state, you have to understand that the casual fans are the one who are going to fill those empty seats. And winning filled that building when they had to beat Johnny Manziel to get to the SEC championship. It filled that building when they had to beat Arkansas to get to the SEC championship. It filled that building in 2010 when they beat, at the time, BCS #1 Oklahoma. Certainly filled that building in 2007 and 2008. It's winning. To turn it on the fans is a fool's errand, and it certainly isn't good PR. We got a break, top of the hour here. Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour coming up. Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour coming to a conclusion. Send your emails in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at tmastl.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Doug Vaughn here, along with the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly. I notice you're awfully fast. I've seen you running down the street down Brentwood Boulevard. You're fast. You're a fast gentleman.
Yes, I talk fast, too.
Yes, I know. Where do you get the energy?
I don't know, man. I don't even drink really coffee. I was born with it. You know, when I was a child, it was probably an issue because I was pretty hyperactive, running all around the school, hiding under the desks, doing all kinds of stuff. But I learned how to channel that energy in my 20s and really put it to good work. And that's the birth of the home loan expert. A lot of energy goes into that. And the Keep Climbing Foundation, you know, a lot of my energy gets poured into there. And then everything else, my wife and my 3 babies. But speaking of fast, I got some breaking news.
What is it?
You want to drop it?
Yeah, sure.
Drum
I don't
roll,
have it.
anything? TheHomeLoanExpert.com, home of the 10-day closing guarantee.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
10 days, I'll close your loan, refi or purchase.
That seems fast to me.
Super faster than I run down Brentwood, I'll tell you.
It's quick. It's quick, though.
Buying a home, thinking about a refinance, I can make that happen. 10-day closing guarantee. You'll be in the home of your dreams by the end of the month. Apply online today at TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago, and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
Join the Ryan Kelly Morning After, September 22nd at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills for the night before the sold-out Lemmings Open pre-party. It's a night of TMA Live from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Join your TMA favorites as the guys host a wing-eating contest, trivia, and plenty of games. Get $16 domestic bucket specials, and don't miss their house specialty Reuben rolls. It's a free event brought to you by Mick Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. And Munganast Acura and Toyota, better than ever for you, their customer.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
And now the Pepper and Genie Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepper and Genie.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at tmastl.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now,
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Oh.
Where did they record this?
When?
In a barn. No, where?
When was it? This was last week?
I just want to hear an EDM remix of this. Somebody completely
this is
butcher
fabulous
it.
music. Mm. Lower and glow.
Ba-da-da-da.
Little lower and glow.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Oh, fabulous hit.
So good.
Fabulous hit. Did I tell you, when I was in Nashville 2 Saturdays ago, when I saw on this tour, you drive by the music area where all the big country stars record their hits, and they're like in old houses. It's not big, enormous buildings that you would think. You know, I thought there'd be some fancy schmancy major studio somewhere. It's a series of old houses that they've redone. Very odd. I guess they can get just the sound they want out of an old house, just like you could a brand new fancy building somewhere.
This Old House with Bob Vila. Think about that.
Yeah, that's not on anymore, is it? That was one of the first of that type of shows.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
HGTV now is huge.
Yeah, but
And
they
that
don't
was kind
show
of
you basic stuff. They show you how to completely demo and remodel a house, but not like Vila did the do-it-yourself at-home projects that you can actually accomplish.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, just blow out this wall, get brand new, like that stuff.
And they always show the scene of the sledgehammer to the kitchen cabinet. Always. And wouldn't it be easier just to unscrew them? Is that just for TV where they do that? Because, oh, look, we're really demoing. I mean, you can simply unscrew the cabinets and still have the cabinets. Put them in the garage or something.
I think there was a lot of backlash to doing that because now when I watch them, most of the time they donate. They take out the cabinets and everything and donate them.
Oh, well, that's
Which
better.
is smart.
Yeah.
It is our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. If you are having any waterproofing or foundation repair issues, make sure you're working with Stratum Structural Systems. Think local, think Stratum. 314-620-8153 or go online at stratumrepair.com. Known for their integrity and authority with over 5 decades of combined structural experience in basement waterproofing and foundation repair. Matt Ford and Brett Groman will take great care of you. They're in Chesterfield, Missouri. They're in Columbia, Illinois, and they are Better Business Bureau accredited with an A+ rating with 0 customer complaints. No other major foundation repair company in St. Louis can say that. When you call 314-620-8153 and let them know you're a TMA listener, they'll get you $100 off your repair project. It's Stratum Structural Systems online at stratumrepair.com. And then think about it. What are you thinking about right now? How about thinking about airdropping nudes? Doug, that is a problem on planes going on. Jackson, what is the background on this audio?
There's a story that came out that a bunch of people were airdropping nudes to random people on the Southwest flight before the flight took off to Cabo, and the pilot just had enough of it.
How would he know what's going on?
But it might have airdropped him a nude.
Can you open windows in the plane and just drop? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh,
Bruh.
Open the window in the airplane?
Where are you dropping them?
Airdrop is a feature on the iPhone.
314-881-TMA5.
I've never heard of
email
Airdrop.
the morning after inside STL.com. Doug, all hell's about to break loose.
I use Airdrop every day.
I don't know what
Look,
that is.
you've got something like this. You got a picture.
Right.
You hit, where am I going to send it? And airdrop is right
That's an iPhone.
here.
Right.
I don't have an iPhone, so how would I know what an airdrop is?
I don't know. I figured they had airdrop on everywhere now.
I don't.
Doug, so airdrop could be opening up the window of the plane.
That's
and
what I'm not.
dropping-
I'm not kidding. I thought that's what airdrop was.
Have you ever seen someone open a window on a plane?
No, that's why I was wondering what airdrop. Airdrop to me is you
There
just
is a little
drop it in the
hatch
air.
you can turn the screw and then it opens the window if you just want to
That's where you
get some
isn't.
fresh air.
Yeah, that's where you
You'd
smoke
all
your
die.
heaters.
You'd get sucked right out of the plane.
Well, I would think so, but I thought airdrop was you're dropping it out of the air.
I guess the pilot would get pretty upset. Stop opening the windows. 5 people have been sucked out of here already.
We have cabin pressure here, people.
Here we go. That's from Mitch of House Cumstein.
So help me, I will land this plane if you don't stop rolling the windows down.
I thought it was odd.
Yeah, that would be wild.
Jesus, the old orange potato sack needs to just leave and never come back. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
Iggy, it's like magic. You can take a picture on your phone and simply hit this airdrop button. Other phones show up. What else is in the area? You just hit that airdrop, and magically the picture goes onto their phone.
Even if you don't know that person?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the
If they have
darndest thing.
airdrop open to everybody, then you can just airdrop it to whoever. You can change that feature to only have it to people.
Well, a
in
pilot
your
shouldn't have
contacts.
his phone going when he's flying a plane. How would he get upset? He wouldn't see him.
You got to get your fantasy updates.
I was trying to airdrop Doug something, but he has airdrop turned off.
Oh, I got Bluetooth turned off.
I don't have
Well, there have been people kicked off of planes. Actually, recently, this airdrop seems to be a new phenomenon in an airplane, but a dude was sending D-pics to everybody or accidentally sent a D-pic to everybody on the plane and got escorted
Yes,
out
he
by air
did.
marshals.
Airdrop.
What a treat.
We would have chapter meetings in our fraternity, and people would just be airdropping, the most ridiculous things to someone who was speaking, and it'd be funny.
You're showing me things on your iPhone. I don't have an iPhone.
I
don't
know.
have that
I'm
option.
just showing you how it works.
It's amazing.
These are the other phones in the area. One is my other phone, and one is Tim's phone.
Send
and if
it.
I wanted to just hit Tim,
Well, send it. Send him a
he
D-pic.
would still have
Send me
to
that
accept
D-pic,
it.
brah.
He
Tim,
would
you're
still
getting
have to
another Doug D-pic.
I'm sorry, I interrupted the article.
He would
'cause
have to accept
I
it.
was trying to get some
No, this is way
info
better.
on what's going on.
Well, we have sound. We have audio.
Yeah.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we do.
The pilot being mad.
So here's the deal. This continues while we're on the ground. I'm going to have to pull back to the gate. Everybody's going to have to get off. We're going to have to get security involved. And it's vacation is going to be ruined. So you folks, whatever that airdrop thing is, quit sending naked pictures. Let's get yourself to a combo.
Get yourself to Cabo. I think that's the
There you
best
go.
part. Like, they're all going to Cabo.
And by all means, don't roll down the windows. But for anyone who complains about it, you did have to accept it, though. It doesn't go right on your phone unless
Right.
you hit accept the airdrop.
Right, but you can't. There's no preview of it either. So if someone just airdrops and you exit, you hit accept because you don't know what's going on, and next sudden you got a wean on your phone.
The move is to accept every
Bill's
airdrop
weed.
pic.
Well, look, I'm an idiot when it comes to technology. But I get stuff all the time that if I don't know who it is, I'm not opening it. You people are stupid for, oh, look, I don't know who this person is. Picture, I'm going to open it. And then you're going to bitch about it.
If I'm on a plane going to Cabo, I'm opening up every airdrop pic.
Yeah.
Because my vacation just started, and who
It
cares?
seems like the only guy upset was the pilot.
I don't even know if he was upset. I think that's just protocol for the airline, I would assume. I mean, I don't know if you want to turn the plane around for airdropping porn or nudes.
Hey, Doug, I'm out in the parking lot. Open that window and airdrop me some D pics. That's from Stepdad Gary.
I'm
So
not
he's out
going
there.
to.
Just open the window.
I won't.
Be
I'm just thinking about somebody bringing 1,000 D pics and opening the window, just throwing it over to Pika. Just
Yeah, kind of like they did.
just
Kind of like they did during the wars. They just dropped all kinds of paraphernalia and propaganda off the plane for the people to read.
Guys, it's a thing with middle school and high school kids to do this as well. They think shots to older people in restaurants. That's from Friends of Bert
I
Convey.
could see that.
See,
Middle
that's
school
weird.
people are doing that? You got to be
Let's get
kidding me.
into like legal, illegal type stuff.
They should be. The kids should be taken away from their parents if they're doing
Wow,
nude
that is
drops.
Where would they go?
In grade school?
Middle schools
The
are doing
island.
all kinds of things.
Now
you
there's an
couldn't
old
imagine.
and infant island.
Yeah. There, you can set your airdrop so only people in your contacts can airdrop you something. So if you have airdrop open to everybody,
I'm going to turn
you
my
are going to
on
open
so
yourself up to possible D pics. I mean, let's just be
Where
honest.
I got to go to settings, Jackson? I guess?
Yeah, you can go settings and you can just change your airdrop feature. Like I airdrop stuff from my computer to my phone every single day. And
Now I'm
it's
looking
super
for the,
helpful.
Oh,
Yeah.
did I find? I'm looking for the airdrop feature.
It's in general, bruh.
I don't have an iPhone, so I don't need to look.
General airdrop.
Ooh, got you.
I already have contacts only.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
see,
gonna-
you're one step ahead of the game. No D pics for you, Tim.
I'm
Damn it.
doing everyone because I want all them D pics.
Damn it, I want a D
Put
pic.
that off.
I'm going to get an
I need
iPhone
'em.
just for D pics.
I bet you have some sort of airdrop feature on your phone.
I can't even figure out how to turn off notifications.
Wait, so when I go to airdrop everyone, my Bluetooth is on?
Yes, your Bluetooth has to be on for airdrop.
I don't like that.
Why? Always have Bluetooth on.
Oh, really?
Always.
I thought they.
Well, if you use,
LTD.
yeah, well, like if you use AirPods or your phone connects to your car through Bluetooth, then yeah.
See,
always have
I
it on.
can't do the AirPods or the Buds. My ears are too sensitive. I can't do what Doug's doing. Yeah.
You need the
They
cans.
hurt. Yeah.
Here's what we can do during a Pepper and Genie. We'll do a critique show. During the show,
Nice.
people send in boob pics. And then we will critique the boobs for you.
Don't they do
Doug,
that
it
on the Ridge
almost
Show?
on the surface sounds like a way to get women to send in pictures of breasts.
I have a feeling we're getting further away from getting sponsored, but I am down.
Now they can't airdrop that to you unless you're within like Bluetooth range.
So you're gonna have to send it to Negril.
Well, line up on the
111.
line up on the patio by the fountain one day, and just all of you
That's
mingle.
probably not close enough. They have to be
Start
close
sending-
to you.
We'll come in studio and just show them for real.
That would work.
There we go. We'll do that.
Imagine you got them Delta tries, or
They could come in-
tri-delts out there, just
Delta
airdropping
tries?
them.
Delta tries.
Well, this is from someone who wasn't blessed enough to have a fraternity or sorority.
Western didn't have
Well,
Greek
we
life?
did. I just wasn't able to join.
Did you try?
I couldn't find a group that fit my style.
Oh,
What was that?
Yeah.
Pot smoking.
Yeah,
pot
mainly.
that was really out, even in the 70s at Mizzou. If you got caught, you got bounced out of the fraternity.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You got thrown out.
I know fraternity, and again, this is just me generalizing as well. They do enjoy the drugs. I got kicked out of U of I when I was visiting my freshman year at Lincoln College. I was rolling a blunt, and it was like a 10-bathroom, just huge frat house. I picked like the corner half bath, to where it clearly hasn't been used, and I'm rolling a blunt up, and one of the frat guys' girlfriends walked in, and it was a whole damn scene.
Depends on what time. So at Mizzou, they had this thing called audit hours where third-party company could come to any fraternity at any time and
Really?
audit the house to make sure there was no partying going on and that there was no drugs going on. So like between the hours of like 9 to midnight or 9 to 1:30 a.m. on the weekends, there would be none of that going on, or you had to do it outside. But after that, it was a free-for-all.
They didn't check like your personal.
No,
items
they can only
like
walk through the
drawers.
hallways and like the big living room areas.
Okay,
They
so
couldn't
that
go
would
into
be
your
intense.
rooms.
I think the weed and the drugs are used much more now than they were.
Not even
in the 70s.
close, 100%.
You always think the 70s was the drug culture. It's because it was new. It's not because there was more people doing it. There weren't. There were some people doing it, but not near like what goes on now.
Dude, I was like, when I started my end of my freshman year, my sophomore year, I was like vilified by a lot of people, my classmates. And then 2 years later, everybody smokes weed and everybody's fine with it. So, but yeah, when you first started, that was when it was still.
Yeah.
And paraphernalia was $1,000 fine. Any kind of crumbs of weed is, potential jail time. It was really serious.
It is our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, about 20 minutes, we will have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Jackson will be accosted by a member of the 101 ESPN staff 2 times yesterday, Jamie Rivers and Kerry Davis, who will come in today to attack him. Find out at 10 o'clock on 101 ESPN when we go down there, and we just deal with it. It's called Balloon Party. And and it's trying.
Is it
Candidly,
really?
it's trying.
Come and get your whooping.
Me and Iggy tried to put P&G to
Yeah, you guys tried to cuck us.
get them downloads up.
Munganess, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown, stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Man, I was on the phone with Jamie Burkhardt a couple days ago. He is the absolute best. Yep. The staff there, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganess, the entire staff. stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. If you are looking to get a new car, lease a new car, get a pre-owned car, lease a pre-owned car. If you are looking to get your car serviced, go to Munganess, stlouisacura.com. And if you'd like a direct introduction to Jamie Burkhardt, I will make it. Just email me, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com, TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com. Jackson, could you tell us about Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies?
Caught me right when I was eating this protein bar.
Oh, boy, Doug. Everybody's having a treat, bro.
I'm sorry. Just give me one moment here.
It's in his mouth. Fine, I'll tell people about
chewy.
Fistful of Bourbon while you get it all figured out back there. Fistful of Bourbon is a wonderful sponsor of the program. A lot of common sense and Western wisdom, Doug, like don't squat with your spurs on and always drink upstream from the fan page. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear what you can't make for yourself, or a twink doesn't know his worth until he's eye-to-eye with a rattlesnake holding the toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that's perfectly clear. Fistful of Bourbon is an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and is smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise and pick up a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York.
All right, I'm good.
There it is. Mark Hanna time.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize to Mark Hanna. But, you won't have to apologize to Mark Hanna if you work with Mark Hanna. You're going to be thanking Mark Hanna. That's exactly what you're going to be doing.
Yes.
Because he is not only just like a super intelligent, knowledgeable financial advisor, he's a wonderful human being. You hear him every Thursday on TMA. But you really don't understand, like, how quality he is, how much he can really help you until you get on a one-on-one phone call with him. That's what he does, man. He gets on the phone with people. He loves doing it. He learns about you, what your situation is, what your goals are, what you're saving up for, or if you're just saving in general, and he builds out a plan for you, educates you on it so you know where your money is going. And once you get off the phone with him, you're like, man, not only do I feel better about my finances, I feel better about humanity in general. That's what that's the Mark Hanna effect. And I want you to start working with Mark Hanna just like I did, just like producer Joe does, just like Doug did. A bunch of people on the show, a ton of listeners. Everyone will tell you that Mark Hanna is the best in the business. So if you don't have anybody, if you're just throwing money into a savings account with no real idea or no real strategy, get in touch with Mark Hanna today. If you already have somebody, consider making the switch over to Mark because he's the best in the business.
314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. Guys, you are being held accountable on the fan page for denying the media's culpability in covering the steroids era. How will you respond?
I was
Doug, that
9.
is from these.
So I think I'm comfortable with where I'm at.
Yeah.
Doug, how are you going to respond?
Well, I was in my 40s, so I didn't know better.
I was a fetus.
I'm going to say, Jackson, were you born at
98 is when I was born.
Okay,
so
yeah,
I probably was in the height of it, right?
I was doing pre and post game show. I was in the locker room all the time. I didn't even know what steroids were.
So you're basically to blame.
I didn't even know what they were doing.
You were too busy airdropping nudes.
No, I don't know what I was doing.
I'm looking on the fan page. I don't see anyone else.
Yeah, I just keep scrolling.
Doug, what do you see on the fan page?
There's been
look at it.
While you look for that, if I can.
Somebody I see has a passes to the Ascension. They're giving away. So, Doug, if you're interested in going to the Ascension, they're giving them away on the fan page.
Okay. That's just a week away now.
All I see is Kevin Miller eating ice cream.
Can we keep all the Pools Barstool post to one thread? This might be it. Regarding today's conversation on steroids, in hindsight, this was the article that always makes me wonder about not asking more questions at the time. Sudden jump and home run power, lucky Snickers, IVs in the training room, rage-like intensity. That is, I don't know. I don't see us getting held accountable. So maybe
It's easy to see the evidence now in hindsight, but at the time, we were just kind of excited to see somebody trying to break a home run record. We didn't really think, oh, he must be cheating. Never really thought of it. Nobody really seemed to.
And people were just loving the game and loving where it was at the time, too.
Yeah.
I mean, who was that one Colorado player for, like, was it Bo Bichette or somebody just had a ridiculous,
Dante Bichette.
Dante Bichette.
Just went on, like, this unreal tear. And like, who the hell is
Vinny
that?
Castillo had some big years for the Rockies. huge years.
But that was the Colorado effect. You know?
Yeah. They weren't using the humidor at that point. And the balls would get dried out in that dry air and become harder and travel much farther.
Brian Henson says, I don't see anything, Tim. Thanks. Hey, caller out. I'm touching myself. Call in. It's from Brian Henson. He's covering the Colts.
Henson's off.
And touching himself?
He needs to excuse himself from the media.
He's excited about Matt Ryan.
Yeah, but
Matty Ice.
from 95 to 99, it was almost untouchable.
Tim, let me guess. Rob with 2 B's is Banty on that fan pin thread. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
Ime Udoka isn't playing baseball, so he wouldn't be mad.
Iggy just set his shoe on fire. He purposely set his shoe on fire.
What do we got going on?
No,
Cal May covered that when Corey Patterson did it.
No, there was a string hanging there off my shoe.
And then you lit it on fire?
I lit it on fire.
You lit a lighter in the studio?
Yes.
Dude, do that to your socks one day. It's super
Do it
fun.
outside.
No, it's fun. Like, you see all your sock fuzzies, like, burn all at once. Have you done that?
Can you smell it now?
Oh, it's amazing.
You smell the fire that we had down here?
No.
You just
There's a small brush fire?
Yeah.
What?
We have the Cal May drop asking LaRussa about the small brush fire following a devastating loss late in September as they were trying to catch
another one down there. Can you do it again?
Braves.
No, it's not big enough.
Interesting.
No, that's just a little thread. The other one was a long.
Anymore self-decision. Those that know they are doing.
Yeah, well, that is a corrupted file. We're just going to clone that up, act like that never happened. I don't know how that happens. It happens to a lot of
I think it's just because there's so many drops open at once, and the Adobe stays open all day.
Yeah.
Stephen Wildwood says there's a post on there now, Tim. I wonder where it came from.
Steve probably did.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Well,
It's from Stephen Wildwood.
I
wish these a-holes on the show would hold the steroid users accountable. I'm going to like it. Can I pin it?
Who are we to hold them accountable?
Yeah, why do we care? Nobody should care.
Damn you, Bonds. You should have known it was the clear, not the cream.
There it is. There was like a small fire down near the end of the dugout, and Corey Patterson stomped it out.
Oh, I missed that. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, God, can I just go home?
Yeah.
I can't do these.
It's weird. I got to reset my settings to have the newest posts shown on the TMA fan page. Does everybody else have that? Normally it's quote unquote most relevant.
Yeah.
I would rather have it just be the auto setting, be newest activity, but I got to go in there and reset it to see the stuff when people send it.
How does it know what's most relevant?
Yeah, nicely done.
God forbid you miss something.
I think it's like it goes by most engaging, like most comments per hour or something.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I would assume that's usually what, like when you go relevant. Where if you search for something, most relevant would be most keywords.
Iggy tried to chime in earlier, and Tim cut him off, and then Iggy set himself on fire to gain attention. It's truly unbelievable.
That's what I did.
It comes from Scooter.
It took 2 seconds, and I didn't even know anybody would even know.
Well, I looked right at it. I was watching.
Well, you'd have to be looking down. I just lifted my foot, string, bang, gone.
Yeah, well, when people are lighting fires in the studio, I tend to
if
notice.
they're not going to talk to me, I'm going to light my shoes on fire.
But that's such a funny idea that you couldn't chime in, so you lit yourself on fire like some sort of monk.
It had nothing to do with it.
Begging for the...
No, I was just going to talk about our sister station.
Who sent that in? Scooter?
That was Scooter.
I want to give him something.
You're going to give him something.
I don't know.
Give him
Text
what?
of the day
For
or
what?
something. It was a funny text.
Well, the shoes are starting to fall apart. The Bruno Marks are starting to fall apart, so I just light the strings on fire to get rid of them.
I've never seen that technique.
Well, you can't. Some of them, they're really tough strings. You can't pull them.
You just get scissors or something.
Well, I don't have any scissors here, so I use the lighter.
I got scissors right here. But also, I don't do it with your slippers.
I wouldn't think so.
Like those all would catch so fast.
Yeah.
Doug, you'd be trapped back in the corner. I'd be benefiting from sitting by the door for the first time.
Just don't light fires in the studio.
Do you see a fire in here? You can't even smell it.
Scooter with the text of the Hubbard era. Congrats. That's from Scott's wrinkled ballsack, not his wife, though.
Oh, God.
Corey Patterson stomped it out.
Oh, I missed that.
Missed that, yeah. He's busy managing a game. Somehow he just kept going to him every game for the first one.
It is kind of
good
amazing.
to be back home and have a great question.
It's amazing this day and age with everything on TV and everybody, such high stakes with professional sports that you would light someone else's foot on fire in the dugout.
Well, it was a bag, wasn't it?
I think he got a hot foot.
Yeah. Don't they put like a match in between your heel?
Something like that.
And then they light it.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous play.
It really is. Like you'd get in all kinds of trouble.
And Calvin saw that?
Calvin.
They had it on TV, I think. Yeah. I think the cameras caught it.
Patterson stomped it out.
He always asks questions that nobody could possibly know.
Well, yeah, that's why he's a legend, and that's why it's.
Did you know that on the broadcast they were talking? Well, he's in the game. He's not listening to the radio. How would he know that?
What'd your grandma think?
I don't know. I haven't talked to her yet.
Here's a great idea. If you're sitting in a studio with thousands and thousands of dollars of electronics, let's fire up a lighter. What a moron. That's from Beer Cats. This Beer Cats.
Mike, would you say an outstanding job from Luke today?
Outstanding job from Luke.
That's one of my favorites.
Yes, he would.
Matheny was even over it. Outstanding
You just
job.
told him to say what he wanted to say. Would you say? Okay, I'll say it.
On a very special edition of Pepper and Genie, Iggy lights his Bruno Mars shoes on fire because he's not getting enough attention. Thanks, that comes from What Was That Hole, where I was playing a little behind you.
Bruno Mars, not Bruno
I'll
Mars.
say this. When you lit it worked. It burned that loose string right
It's
off.
gone.
Yeah. And then you slapped it to put the fire out.
Well, yeah, I didn't want it to go any further.
Yeah.
Coach, how cool was it that it was a Wisconsin player that sank the winning shot?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Roderick. Joe Roderick Engineering.
Don't have any food.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Claves yesterday, Joe Roderick today. What a treat for the players. They are all gathered here in the Michelob Ultra Studios. Joe, welcome. Iggy just lit himself on fire because he was happy that he wasn't getting enough attention.
My God. No, that's what a texter said, not us. And you got Joe West. Couldn't you get Joe West in here? Here,
He did. He offered, and I said, I don't really want guests. Nothing. It's nothing against Joe.
Right.
Joe or Joe.
People
Joe
said,
West,
"Why-
Joe
why is
Roderick.
it?" I asked
He
you guys to
offered.
know,
He was
okay,
on the
yeah.
Rizzuto show. He was on Randy and Michelle's show.
Yeah.
I just don't really like guests.
Are you doing PR now, Joe?
A little bit, yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. It's not that hard. You
No.
just say, yeah.
You
You want this
ferry
guy?
people
I
around
got
to-
this guy. You want him? We'll bring him in.
What? You got a job with the PR agency?
No,
or
I'm
what?
the.
Joe West has a podcast
yeah,
on
producing the
Claiborne's
with
podcast network.
Joe and Claib. No, it's not on Claib's Online. That one, that's on the Podcast Heat Network.
Oh, that's on
Yeah.
Dave Green's.
Yeah, that's on his. Yeah. I found somebody to sell it for us instead of having to go and sell it. So
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
We
And
talk about your
so-
snoring every now and then.
You know what? I get texts anytime that you guys talk about me.
Who
I will get
texts you? Because we
just-
found out Daddy Padre texts Jamie Rivers.
just random friends. I'll just get a message. Hey, they were talking about you on TMA today.
Yeah.
So which story was this one?
Have you been checked for sleep apnea?
I don't know. I mean,
Because a lot of times snoring is a tip off to sleep apnea.
I've never really been. I mean, Iggy, was that? Did I snore that week? Is that what happened?
I think you know that.
Uh-oh.
Tried to sleep in a bathtub.
That is really funny. The tub thing is funny.
My wife doesn't complain, so
she doesn't.
Well, the next time that you're bringing a guest in, could you get her on time? I mean, I missed a break. I was 5 minutes late for break because I had to go in and tell Michelle that Joe West was here. He's out there with his wife by himself in the lobby.
I
had to talk to Joe
Doug,
West.
it sounds like Joe Roderick's getting a talking
Asked him
to
how
as
the
he drops by.
Asked him how the podcast was going. He said had Emmylou Harris on the last one. So,
we did.
But I don't have time to do your work. So
I got here. I think I pulled in. I parked at about 7:53, but I'm traffic driving in every day, rush hour. I don't know how people do that.
Which way'd you come?
From Belleville, just straight
that's
64.
tough.
Yeah.
You run into multiple
Right.
spots.
Waze just kept changing on me and telling me to go different routes, and I don't know how people do that every
You're
day.
supposed to
driving
live
in.
on this side of the river, and then
That would help. Yeah.
Ooh, quick
Would.
thought. I know before emails, we brought up a conversation about the 13.1 stickers and the 26.2 sticker. You do a ton of marathons, so I wasn't bashing you. What are your thoughts on the 13.1 and 26.2 stickers?
I don't have any of those stickers.
I wasn't gonna ask.
I don't have any of those stickers. The 26.2 is an accomplishment. You can walk 13. If you want to walk, if you could walk 13, it's anybody can do that. The 26, that takes a lot out of you.
I bet you know people with the stickers.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
There's no need to put that on there. If you go and then if I see the one like the 50K or any of those they're just insane if you're going that long out there.
Yeah. But you look damn good, Joe.
Well, thank you.
Sounds like the plow could be interested in showing you that big hog he's carrying.
Well, I am here. No, Joe, that'll be for your podcast. But I am here because of Joe Roderick. So always when I see Joe, it's always good to see him.
Thank you.
How about that? You mentored the plow hawk. You created the plow hawk.
I did. I remember. I texted one of our professors at Western and I said, "You got anybody to intern for me?" And he said, "Here, I got this Darren Atkins kid."
Aren't you in the Hall of Fame at Western Illinois?
I was alumni of the year.
Oh,
you do a
and
lot
my
for
picture is up in the hallways.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not Hall of Fame though.
No, they haven't called yet on that.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were Hall
One
of
of these
Fame.
days.
What are they waiting on?
Wow.
Biggie. This Banty goes after Jamie Rivers in the 7 o'clock hour and Roderick in the 9 o'clock hour.
I heard if I knew I'd have seen Iggy today, I think I have a gift card I'm supposed to give him.
Wow. What do we have?
From the Clabe said he had a gift card for you, right?
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
What's a gift card?
From winning that the golf outing a few weeks ago, right?
Oh, so Iggy get the gift card?
Clabe said he would give it to Iggy if it's that important to him. That was what I was told.
No, I'm not going to let this go.
Uh-oh. There we go, Doug.
What's so important? I
Jackson,
congratulated.
let him know we're going to be late again today.
I congratulated Claves on the win.
Yeah, you did.
Why would I want the gift card?
Yeah, back there.
Oh, okay.
They beat us by a stroke, but I don't know. I've never said that I was upset that they won and we didn't. No, Claves is just...
I thought you guys had a nice, peaceful exchange yesterday.
We did. I didn't know he was upset about it. I mean, he's still upset about me not going to his Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I've already said if I win and I wouldn't go, why would I go to yours? Anyway. Congratulations. I don't want your gift card.
Why not? Supposedly it's a good gift card. It's a heck of a gift card.
Well, Spencer
It's
gave
the
me
best
his.
gift
No,
card.
Spencer gave me his for closer to the pin.
Wow. You won closest to the pin?
You won smooth? I know that.
No, Spencer did. But he said, just take mine. I'm not staying, so just take mine. Okay. And I should have got longest drive, but I got screwed out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know. If you don't say anything, you just...
Roderick's like, man, I wish I wouldn't have come in.
No, you're fine.
He just gave you the mic again. Very unhappy with the developments. Joe, anything you would like to promote while you're here? What's going on the podcast? I see you pop up on the Twitter tweets.
Yeah, 5460 Joe West podcast, and then everything we're doing with Claves Online.
Nice.
Huh. You got your own show still?
Yeah, I do that. We put out about, I'd say 5 to 8 shows a week, different things on there. Yeah, so just different little pieces of content.
So it's going well.
It is, yeah. Going well, no complaints. It's nice to just be able to sit at home and record all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be nice.
We used to only see you when we had free food in the studio somewhere.
That's
as a PR guy, you got to
tweeted earlier that we were coming to Hubbard, and I was accused of only booking this because TMA had food, and I don't see any food here.
They bring a ton of food in here, more so.
They do.
than
With
ever,
all
so.
the stations that are in this building, you would think that one sponsor a day would bring breakfast, right?
We see Emos quite a bit, White Castle. We see all that sort of stuff. We try to bring in pizza.
Yeah.
But not
we'll let you know next time.
Thank you. I'm not driving in morning rush hour traffic for food. That's not happening anymore.
We'll have an Uber to your house.
Beer Cats is
thank you guys.
Furious. You don't have time to do his work. You don't do any work at all, other than that nose whistle into the mic, sigh when you don't get enough attention, and refuse to be on time like the rest of your peers, and then stupidly light fires into the studio. We don't know what you do. That is from Beer Cats, and Doug, they're just at this point piling on now.
Yeah, it seems like it. He's kind of had enough, I can see.
He's about to extend the middle finger at the camera. Imagine the offspring between Plowsy and Roderick. Huge hogs, great hair, and a fantastic rack. Thanks. That's from Here's a Gift Card for Iggy's Pity.
Who's got the rack?
I think Joe Rod may not as much anymore, but Western Alum has.
We've gotten a lot of breast texts.
Because you showed him at Tim's house down in Florida once.
I took my shirt off. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened.
And then there's sand all over my
sand,
cervix.
Yeah.
That was right before I loaded pizzas into your freezer.
Oh, and you
'Cause I-
also helped yourself to the restroom at Tim's parents'
Yeah,
house.
dropped ass in my parents' living room.
Yeah, there, his house now, and his house down in Florida. So yeah, I've knocked out a lot of.
Get yourself regular, man.
Wasn't your little one with you, and you kind of like kept him in the hallway?
Yeah.
Hudson was in the
Yeah, he
stroller.
was still in a stroller.
My dad walks in. It's the St. Gabriel School picnic.
Yeah.
So I imagine he probably had been taking the edge off throughout the course of the day. And there's a stroller in there. Missy, what the hell is this? There's some kid in the damn living room. Oh, there's a guy in there taking a crap. This place.
What a move on your part, though. I don't know if I had the balls to do it. I respect it for sure.
Yeah, it's a gesture of defiance. Oh.
Guys, Iggy is currently the biggest pout fish of all the pout fishes. Before long, he will be peeing in the studio as he begins his acting out phase. From Iggy's gape.
Every time I sit here and I'm not talking, you think I'm pouting. I'm not going to be like the Joker and sit over with a smile on my face, painted on. If I'm not talking, what do you want me to do? Cartwheels?
Ken, will you take that damn sticker decal off your hat?
No,
You aren't
I won't.
appealing in a Nelly video.
No, I won't.
Some little Tommy Tribbins.
It's a collector's item. I believe it says 100th anniversary. That's why I kept it on.
Doug, does it say 100th anniversary on the
See it. I
decal?
don't even see it from my angle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that's a
no, and I would take the gift card from Claves for Gobble Bowl, but Gobble Bowl's in November, and I think the gift card expires next week, so it won't work.
Iggy, do yourself a favor and just don't go on the fan page. A bunch of mouth breathers will spend their entire day on this Claves topic. Enjoy the real world and not the sewage pit that is social media. Free yourself, B. That's from Mitch. Ooh, we gonna have a lot of Fichtons Cumstein.
Oh, my
It
word.
doesn't bother me, Cumstein.
It looks like they need you again.
Joe,
Joe, I
yeah.
think there you have
Yeah,
King
yeah.
Scott's out there.
Yeah, no, King Scott too. Oh, Frank? Yeah, okay.
Have fun.
Joe,
Great
wonderful to see you, sir.
Joe.
Thanks,
Yeah, you really don't
See you,
have
bud.
breasts anymore. I just noticed that on the side.
I know.
He
I
does it.
love
That's
Joe.
great. That's great,
I
Doug.
love Joe Roderick.
I love Joe West. I've seen him at Filoni's a couple times when he was in town
Have you?
umpiring. Yeah, before he quit.
Well, he seems like he's in a good mood today. He's
Yeah,
smiling.
they interviewed.
waving.
They had Emmylou Harris this week.
I bet he's got some great stories to tell.
Oh, I'm sure.
Didn't he set the record for most games umpired? I believe he did.
You know, the singing cowboy.
That'd be a fun job, wouldn't it? Major League umpire.
Especially the time period in which he did it. No cell phone for the most part. Kind of got to argue with, the players and the manager. And probably met a
Yeah.
lot of characters out and about.
He and the Mad Bum had a little one-on-one session.
Oh,
Mad Bum.
A little 20-second stare down.
It would take a certain personality for sure. You couldn't be a weak personality at all. And deal with the people screaming at you. And for the most part, you have to let them scream at you.
Yeah.
And give it right back, too.
Doug, it's time for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day here in the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. And then Jackson and I head down the hallway and just deal with it. And Young, yeah, it's me again. Who the hell is Bruno Marks? Thanks. That's from number one Asian intern Brian Henshin, a.k.a. ASMR Bruno Marks. Subscribe to my Patreon and I'll light myself on fire.
Don't.
Well, you wouldn't.
Brian Hinchin.
Sure, you show up at the volleyball games wearing Crocs.
Oh. I don't mind Crocs. I paint in them at home.
They're hot now.
That's as Hoosier as can be.
And Young, I love Plowsy. The Virgin is freaking out over the fact Pop Strode just lit a fire in the damn studio. And Darren chimes in with, hey man, you ever lit a sock on fire? Awesome. Thanks. It's from number one Asian intern Brian Henshin,
Brian?
a.k.a. ASMR Gary Pinkel.
Oh.
They don't know it yet, but I'll be doing whisper interviews on Pepper and Genie this fall, okay? First 25 subscribers receive a special coupon code to ourlads.com. The deal includes early access to Augustana University's Week 4 depth chart for the, Doug, is it the Mankato game? That'll be a big one, Doug.
Mankato.
The code is pockets.
Oh.
I went to our lads for the first time this morning to look at Louisiana Tech depth chart, and it worked. It's a good website.
I wasn't making it up.
Well, it sounded made up at first.
I thought it was like a Reddit thread, like r/lads.
I was curious if I'm going to get spam. But
Dan Chonka's still there?
Doug Dan Chunka is now texting into the show.
Okay.
When I hear glowworm, I picture that khaki king just a bebopping around and whistling like a 1950s mailman. The kind of man who twiddles his fingers over a plate of donuts saying, "Don't mind if I do." Oh, Dougie, if you ever decide to dabble in the brown arts, please hit my line. We'll hang out. Glenn with 1G, mourning the loss of my step-cousin, Lil Craig, who got sucked out of a flight to Maryland Heights because he opened the window of the plane to do that cool thing with your hand that makes it fly up and down.
What was the guy's
name?
name?
Glenn, 1G.
Glenn with only the 1G.
Morning. Yesterday's episode of two quasi-straight guys barely above the poverty level talk over each other while recording a podcast about nothing in separate studios. It was pretty eye-opening. I particularly enjoyed the story of a young Ken digging up a green at Ruth Park and pontificating on the poor decisions you make as a teen while not mentioning the time he ransacked his neighbor's apartment as a 43-year-old man baby living in squalor.
That's older than that.
And before Darren could finish his story about egging the neighbors, it was great to see Ken come over the top again and tell the story about being a scab for the 100th time. For someone who supposedly has a wealth of stories that he's never told, it's truly remarkable how many times he's told that incredibly uneventful story. Again, I'm enjoying the show. That's from Brandon, the indoor goalie.
Brandon, the indoor goalie. He's new.
Good morning, St. Louis. I heard one of my biggest fans works for your radio show and's been dying to meet me. When I saw that he tagged me on Twitter, I reached out immediately. I personally sent an email to Negril112 at AskJeeves.com, but I haven't heard anything back from the fella. Yes, I am a washed-up hip-hop performer who experienced mild success about 10 years ago, but many people don't know that I still have a small following of senior citizen hummingbird enthusiasts from Missouri. It's my understanding that this fan even has experience getting a crowd pumped up, so I'd like to formally ask Ken to join me this fall as I hit the road with Liliac, Chris Rea, and Rory Gallagher's nephew for our Can You Even Call Us Has-Beens If We Were Never Really Popular to Begin With tour.
I forgot about Chris Rea.
He can go on stage and say something clever like, "It might be cold outside, but there's about to be some hot garbage music up in here." Doug, that's from Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Also known as the JV golf coach.
Oh, JV golf coach.
And finally, hey boys, sorry I haven't emailed in lately. It's that time of the year we in the glory hole business called crunch time. The St. Louis summer's humidity wreak havoc on the duct tape linings. Anyhow, I am down in Columbia today installing some Luther Burden vinyl wraps in the Fairfield bathroom stall walls. He is doing the diamond hands right around each glory hole. Got to scoot. Your glory hole repairman serving the Columbia land as well as the greater Wentzville land area. That's from Doug's Microphone Shadow. And that's what we have.
Microphone shadow. I guess
For the
Kevin Miller
designer.
gave up after he didn't win the month.
Yeah, he's done.
He's
He had a good
retired.
month.
Or maybe he didn't get into the filtered file. I don't know.
No, he didn't email in.
I'll go with Pitbull.
JV golf coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, none of it was right. I mean, Pitbull's tour last year only.
We got a late entry. Maybe this will change your mind.
Okay.
Late
About a
entry.
million
Oh, we
people.
did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just saw it pop in.
All right.
Back off Lixie and Iggy haters. Nobody, and I mean nobody, cleared markets like our guy Iggy. Who else was accepting free cars from sponsors after his turn of the century steam engine evaporated in real time on a busy highway during rush hour with his hands still on the wheel? Who else banged listeners' wives during COVID to keep fan page morale up? Who else begged Cam for tickets to the Stanley Cup final or bailed on claims after begging to go to his Hall of Fame induction? Who else hacked the system and climbed his way up to being the receptionist for an 18-year-old executive producer after being ranked in ESPN's top 5 producers in the country? And Doug, don't you dare feel bad about getting emotional after a big midweek tilt between Mizzou and Liberty University. Hell, before Gangster Pete went to work in the community roadkill business, he used to cry outside the Phi Mu house after the Ultimate Frisbee Club team would lose to ITT Tech at Reactor Field during Spirit Week. Thanks. On my screen, I don't know, it was a guy from Chicago, but I wasn't really watching it. Hey, want to talk about my high school reunion?
Come on, it's not verbatim. It's not even close to how that comes.
That is the late entry for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
That was a good one.
Who was it?
That was on my screen. I don't know. It was a guy from Chicago, but I wasn't really watching it. Hey, want to talk about my high school reunion?
That's his name?
That's pretty
What's the name? I read what's in the prompter.
Well, that was the best one, though. I'm going to change my vote and
Oh,
go to
wow.
my screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, JV Golf Coach. I was going to vote for you until this last entry in the name's
late
too long for me
entry.
to talk.
Late entry on my screen has shipped the Design Air Heating and Cooling email.
The steamboat. The turn of the century.
Every time he says that, it really cracks me up.
Jackson and I are going to go get a little different flavor feedback over the next hour down the hallway. You can participate 65780 or leave a mic drop on the 101 ESPN app. The program's called Balloon Party, and then coming up here on 105 HD2, we have TMA all day and Plowhawk and Iggy with Pepper and Genie. It's all coming your way here on the TMA podcast feed. So just subscribe to it, and it's all there for you. Time for us to shut it down and close out the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. For the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
KPNT FM HD2.